Good evening, good evening, good evening. Tonight is a very special night. I finally get to do this thing that I've been wanting to do for maybe a year. Nah, maybe like 6 months, but it feels like a year. It feels like 10 years I've been wanting to do this. I think every gamer has like a game that defines them from their childhood. Like something they played that really set forth how they were thinking about games and doing everything else they did from then on out, right? Sometimes you try to share those games and those special moments with other people, and it doesn't really work out. Not everybody has the same taste, and that's understandable, right? But I had the pleasure of sharing one of my favorite games with another streamer, watching him fail and stumble through it miserably, but then working his way out to come out on top over the course of a few weeks, and while being frustrated, actually working through something he loved, which I imagine is the same type of joy that a lot of people got while watching me play Dark Souls for the first time, and realizing that I had no idea what I was doing, but I was an intelligent dude. I'm still a gamer at heart. I can figure things out, right? So now that I've watched my dear friend have the pleasure of trying to play through the game in question, which is Star Fox for the SNES, the original version, I'm now going to play it at his behest, but I'm not just going to play it for him to watch as if he's just watching the stream. He could do that just by watching a VOD. I'm going to have him commentate on everything we do as he watches a separate live video, and we're going to see how long we can do that before just crashing the entire computer while I'm holding up pretty much 2 different streams. Very, very interesting indeed. That being said, let's bring in our special guest. Hello, Maestro.
Hey, how's it going?
How's it going with you, my man? Are you ready to get started?
I am absolutely ready to get started. I hope
Alright.
you're doing well today, man.
I am doing well. So, before we get started, I would like to know, when you started this game, it was... No. Before you even played this game, what did you expect out of it? Did you expect to be frustrated? Did you expect anything ill?
Okay, so a little bit about my history with this game. The first time I ran into this game was at a Funko Land, and I don't know if you had Funko Lands where you were, but there was Funko Land, and there are other stores in the area called Software, etc., and they all sold old NES and SNES games, and there was always a plethora of Star Fox cartridges everywhere, and they were always very, very cheap. Like, I'm talking 65-cent cheap. These things that,
Really?
yes, very obnoxiously cheap. And usually, by those price tags, you look at a game and you instantly were under the impression, okay, this is a bad game because they're selling it for so cheap. So I never actually bought the cartridge for it. It wasn't until years and years later that another friend of mine had asked me to play the game, right? And she was like, yeah, look, this is one of my favorite games. Would you play it? And this was before I was streaming on Twitch. This was like a Skype kind of deal. So it was just me and her on a Skype type kind of thing. And I played, I want to say maybe the first 2 levels before I got frustrated with the game and legitimately just said, okay, we're
So
going to
you
shelve this for now, but
you
maybe
did
we'll
have a
do this
background
another time.
in the game before I ever watched you play it. I did not know that.
No. It's like I said, it was a very bare minimum of the game. It's like I said, I
No, but
played
you
like
knew
maybe
what
the
was
first
coming.
level or 2. Oh, I
So that
knew.
being said, how do you feel about this intro as it plays out here for us?
Okay, when I first saw the intro, I didn't know what exactly it was that I was looking at, except for the fact that it was like, okay, these are the bad guys or whatever here, right? But then after I looked at it like 2 or 3 more times, I realized what was actually happening, and I was like, okay, this is actually a really badass intro, because it's showing like these guys are launching a full-scale attack, and maybe those 2 or 3 ships that were coming back to warn them, like, guys, there's about to be like a massive full-scale invasion, they
Right.
just got blown out of the air, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is looking terrible.
Their defenses just got ganked. You don't know that when you first watch, though, especially if you were my age or your age when this came out, but as the years go by, you start realizing, like, wow, there was a lot of presentation put into this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, even this, like, having, look at the scaling here. You have the R-wing in the back, just kind of rotating. You have the stars going back, which becomes one of the gameplay screens, like one of the backgrounds for the levels at one point. And you have the Star Fox crew up here, just like staring at you, showing you who the characters are.
Which, amusingly enough, looking at this, the first 3 look okay. I mean, like, Peppy looks fine, Fox looks fine, Slippy looks a little like absent-minded, and then you got Falco on the side that who legit looks angry at you. Like he looks like he may be a villain.
He'd be an absolute traitor if like if this was that type of game. He'd be the one to
Exactly.
turn us in. All right, so plan for a day. Route 1, no problem. Too easy, right? Also, I lied to you.
If you say so, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know.
And how's that holding up on your end, by the way? As
On
far
my
as
end,
display?
it looks fantastic.
Beautiful.
Everything looks good.
But yeah, I know that...
Control A, though?
Yeah, I realized I lied to you. Control A is what I always use.
Really? I found Control B to be the best. I don't know.
I like B because it's consistent, and it's like, okay, your weapons are on bottom, your boost and your brakes are on top. And I was like, I get it. The reason I like A more is because it's easier for me to get to the right shoulder button while I'm shooting. Without, like, twisting up my hand.
Boost is that blaster. Oh, okay. Yeah, no. Okay.
Because then
I
I'm
can
not
see what it is.
scrunching up my thumb. And this is the way I played as a kid, but for some reason, when I was a teenager, I was like, oh, I'll switch to Type B. And I didn't like Type B at all.
Well, you know why you switched to Type B, right?
Right, because Type B blasters are great. But yeah, this little intro screen where you get to see like how exactly your ship moves around and everything. I always thought this was great.
I will say I admire this greatly because I don't know of many games that did this.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, and I've played other games that were similar to this, I guess, in this regard, like not you flying through space, but you know, like I guess plane or shooter simulator type kind of things. And I don't recall any of them doing anything like this that say, hey, look, this is your control. Look, does this feel okay to you?
Yeah,
And
this
I
is
was like,
happening
wow, that's
right
actually-
now in front of you.
Like, I admire that greatly because I was like, wow, that's actually really nice of them to do.
Okay. So I already told you when I was a kid, I didn't know how this map screen worked. I had no idea you could select levels. As a kid, I would just mash
made
buttons.
Two of us.
Yeah, and I was just like, whatever level I got, I was like, wow, it was a different game every time. I don't know why. I was amazed. You know, that's 4 or 5. Now, did I ever tell you the story of why my SNES is full of coins?
You did not.
So, as a kid, I was taken to the arcade a lot, and when I got home, I was like, oh yeah, you gotta put coins in a video game to make it work. Because, you know, 2 or 3, so my SNES still has a bunch of coins rattling around in it. I've gotten a few out, but I left the rest of them in there for nostalgia.
I was about to say, that's how you know it's your SNES, you know?
Yeah. Now, I'm gonna challenge you to do something. Hey, Wiz, how are you doing? Have you seen our special
Wiz.
guest commentator? And hey, JX, how are you doing? Everyone say hi to Maestro. Maestro, say hi to everybody.
Oh, hey everyone, how y'all doing today?
You did the same thing with the VCR, Wiz? That is beautiful. And thanks for the host, JX. I appreciate it. How have you been, by the way?
We've got a new contact, unknown classification. Isn't one of ours. Check it out.
If you guys want to hear more about Maestro or find out what he does, which is especially as he's been playing through Star Fox himself and struggling through it, you can hit exclamation point guest to get a little bit of info on him. That being said, Maestro, I'm going to challenge you to do something tonight.
Sure, go right
I need
ahead.
you to read Pepper's lines.
General Pepper's lines.
Yep. You ready?
Alright, man.
Let's do it. I love that too.
I think that was so cool. Canary at the base. Star Fox team, our last resort is to counterattack Venom. Good luck. and then you get him actually saying, like, that surprised me.
Yeah,
That
when he
surprised
says
me when
good
he
luck,
actually
you're
said
like,
good
what?
luck. I was like, what?
Because everything else in the game is gibberish. McGruff the
No,
crime
see,
dog,
I
exactly.
recall you mentioning something about you not knowing what scramble meant when you were a kid, and unfortunately, when my first experience with this game was when I was already old enough to know what scramble meant. But I found that humorous.
I thought it was eggs, dude. I was obsessed with
Yeah.
eggs as a kid. I was like, scrambled eggs, yeah.
Wait, you're not obsessed with eggs anymore?
Oh,
now,
I still like eggs, but I like
Oh,
over light
gosh,
instead
I-
of scrambled now. Alright,
Oh, okay.
so if you feel free, I'm just gonna play and you can talk about your experiences with these first levels.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And hey, Nikki. I know Nikki is a Star Fox fan as well. Say hi to Maestro,
Hey,
Nikki.
how you doing today? Yeah, so when I first did this, I went into the training mode, first off, because it was a training mode thing, and I was like, oh, cool, you know, they give you a training mode thing, and it was kind of, I guess, like Superman 64, where they let you go through a bunch of those, those ring kind of doodads, and I was just like, okay, is this the game? And then I learned that no, it's certainly not the game. And if that were the game, it would, well, I guess it would be a lot easier to deal with, but also a lot less entertaining. These guys, bro, I hated those guys.
What, the
second
Mad
run
Bombers?
around- Dude, those dudes holding the freaking.
Oh, the
gun.
robots.
I
You know,
hated those dudes.
I've never
Oh my
figured out
gosh.
if the robots are Corneria robots or Venom's robots. Because they're just doing construction and shit. They're not,
That's a
like,
good
attacking you.
point. They're not attacking you, but at the same time, maybe it's that they're already trying to, like, build on the planet to, like, establish something. I don't know.
Right, because remember in Route 3, when Falco tears up the attack carrier, they're carrying pieces of it away. So is it implying that, oh, these are Corneria robots cleaning it up, or is it Andross's robots trying to recover the guy? And how have you been, Nikki? Good to see you.
That was fascinating to me, and at the same point, because I was like, yo, why are my peeps, like, why am I doing all of this by myself? And then they sometimes come by to give me backup, and then it's because you had mentioned, well, what do you think? They're taking care of, like, all the other bullcrap that's attacking me place, and I was like, oh, alright, that makes sense. Okay, you got it. But yeah, no, so, I mean, by the time I started, I guess, really getting into this game, I didn't actually start feeling this game until, I want to say maybe the third stage in Route 1, because the first two stages I was really not feeling them very much, but by the time you make it to, at least for me, by the time I made it to the third stage, I was actually like, okay, this game's not so bad. But like I said, my initial first attempts playing this game were kind of just met by, and I'm not really feeling it, so I didn't continue.
One sec. Jism, how have you been, my man? Good to see you. You feeling better? School and everything going well? And I'm not only just playing this gym, I'm getting commentary from someone that I forced to play this game as well. So say hi to Maestro, our guest commentator. If you want to find out more about him, hit !guest. Nikki, I hope you've been well as well. I know you're a Star Fox fan because I've seen you play a few of the different games, or at least the 3DS version of the N64 version, or Lilat Wars, as they call it in Jism's parts. So, first boss, that approach. What did you think of this the first time you did this, Maestro?
I didn't really know what to expect.
You got hit by him, didn't you?
I did.
He clipped you on the way in, and you were like
clipped me?
hugging the top.
Yeah, because I didn't know any better, and I didn't know what to expect because it was kind of like, you know, the boss shows up and you see this giant enemy bar pop up, and immediately, you know, you get intimidated because you're like, that's kind of a big life bar, and my life bar is very small.
Yeah, we're very fragile over here.
So,
Star Fox rules, Nikki, indeed.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Nikki. MF Jism? Is that how you say that?
I just call him Jay, or Jism.
Jay. Hey, Jism. How's it going, man? But yeah, so I mean, like, I was intimidated with it, and then afterwards I saw that it wasn't real. Like, I was expecting with the size and everything, I thought it was gonna, like, kind of go ham on me. Oh, 91%. Not bad. Not
I
bad.
usually get
What was
100
my
here.
What was my first on this? Well, when I completed the route.
I want to say 86.
I think
Oh,
it was
the route?
82.
I don't remember
Yeah,
the route.
The entire route. I want to say it was 82 because when I completed Route 2, I think I was in the 90s. I think I was 91, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah,
what,
you have 82 to beat, which you're doing
Right.
well with so far.
so when you first played this and I didn't explain anything to you, what did you think of this map screen that we're looking at?
Well, I saw that there was a green line going from the Corneria to the asteroid thing, and then I looked at the rest of that path, and I saw that, you know, there was a Space Armada and Meteor and Venom, but then I was like, what are all those other things there for? Because I wasn't, and I was like, I guess there's another way to get to those or something, but it wasn't, I didn't fool around with it at first to go like level 1, level 2, level 3, you know?
Right, because we didn't really know. And JX, that's exactly what me and Maestro were talking about last night. I couldn't remember why. So the first game was called Star Wing because Star Fox sounds like Star Vox in German. And then Star Fox 64 was called Lilat Wars for you guys. But we worried about that because it was like, if the first one was Star Wing, why didn't you use like Star Wing 2, Lilat Wars or something like that? Because what if you knew, like in the US, if you knew Star Fox from back in the day, when Star Fox 64 came up, you're like, oh, I know that game. This must be the new version. Whereas in the European sector, you would have been like, oh, Star Wing, that's cool. And then like Lilat Wars, never heard of that. Maybe I'll check it out, maybe I won't, you know? We kind of wondered how that affected the marketing. And hey, AJ, thanks for coming to our guest commentator night. Can I get a shout out for Nikki Potent, please, AJ? And how are you doing? Alright, ready for level 2 and your next Pepper performance?
Hey man, I'm ready for the next one.
Let's do it.
This is... it's not a cool rotating planet thing. Asteroid belt. Andross's forces intend to build a base in this area. Destroy the rock crusher.
You know, I always wonder, why didn't they build the base first, then attack Corneria?
I kind of thought of that too, but then I was thinking about it, and I was like, if they wanted to make a surprise kind of attack, they would just have to launch everything at the same time and then say, okay.
Alright, you ready for the strat, Air? It zooms you in, you can't immediately get out of your camera, so you take the first few shots at these guys so they won't hurt you, then you get out of your camera when you're safe. And now you're good.
Okay.
Forever.
You know what? I actually like that mode better than the third person, so... You can play the game how you like, alright?
All the barrel rolls are for you, Joe. And there's one for Nikki, and one for Wiz, and one for AJ. And I didn't hit the head on that thing. So you hit the head on those, and then the red parts go away. If you nail the headshot, then you don't have to deal with all the stuff. There's a lot of stuff like that in the game, where if you nail the first shot, you don't have to deal with it blowing up in a bunch of stuff. Like those missiles later on at Venom. Like, if you hit them while they're big, they don't split into, like, 1,000,000 missiles.
Ah, okay. That's helpful to know.
Yeah, like, see that?
Yeah,
and then you get health out of it, too.
Blew everything up.
Yeah, old school Centipede style.
I want to know, I want to say that's, like, another game that I'm aware of,
Centipede.
I can't recall.
Centipede.
Yeah, I guess Centipede.
Back in the day.
Centipede.
Or, not Centipede, Space Invaders.
No. I was thinking,
The Centipede's
wait, Centipede didn't do it?
No, the Centipede's in Space Invaders.
I thought Centipede did that, where if you hit the front... Okay, never mind.
I mean,
yeah,
this was the
think you're
80s. Like, a lot of those ideas pretty much were the same thing.
Right. Okay, yeah. Oh, boy.
Don't you talk to Peppy like that.
This is for you. Hey, look.
I even need that bomb.
Peppy's the man, okay? Like, you can talk all you want about Slippy, because, you know, he's Slippy, but you can't talk bad about Peppy, man. Peppy's actually kind of a cool guy.
Peppy let your dad die, though.
If my dad died in that regard, then you know what, I mean, he probably wasn't that great a pilot in the first place.
It's kind of funny, though, because the 64 version implies that he never died, but maybe it was just hallucination. We don't really know.
So what is the final verdict? Like, what are we left to believe on?
I have no idea. I don't even know if it's important or not.
It's like, it doesn't matter that much, except when you get to the next Star Fox game. Oh boy.
Nikki, you don't like Falco? Falco's the
Let me
man.
tell you, I love Falco's, like,
How snarky he is.
Dearness he is. He's absolute, like, you know, like, kind of wants your help, but doesn't really. And
He asked for help, but then he's like, yeah, I need that. Get out of here.
mind your own business, Fox. I'm like, you're a great guy, you know that?
And you imagine, these guys are the equivalent to today's fighter pilots. They're acting like they're 15.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm actually surprised that this is running so smoothly.
I'm using a few exploits to make it run a lot smoother than the original SNES.
Okay, I get it. Cause yeah, I was about
Also
to
notice the stretch in the widescreen. And also notice like the stretch from the widescreen.
Yeah, it's
So
a bit
there's-
stretched, but it doesn't look bad.
There's give and take with that though, because my hitboxes are a little bit bigger, but my projectile ranges are a little bit bigger as well. But it's not real, it's just what perceived, like what we see.
I was about to say, I think that's just you getting your eyes adjusted to the look of that though, right?
Well, no, what's displaying is wider than what's really there. So there's a part where what we're seeing is not really what's happening in the game, and that can be tricky.
Okay. Oh, you got a little over your half shield. I think you
What's up,
should
son?
be
How you
fine.
doing? Memes are not the time. There's a place for memes, though. If someone wants to direct sent to the place. How are you doing, son?
Now it's funny because the game had said, "Hey, destroy their rock crusher," and I didn't even like fathom that this was a rock crusher to begin with.
Yeah, I don't know how
Like,
it works.
didn't-
I think the big
yeah.
part is the rock crusher part, which is why it's such weird in combat, because it's not meant to be like a combat robot or something.
Yeah.
Like,
I
because the
suppose.
first thing you fight is not really a boss. It's something that's
like a
delivering. Yeah, it's delivering all the enemies to Corneria, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, JX. Fox's dad became one of the Fox Force. I believe it.
The Fox Force. Oh man.
Look at these 3D, like, how they roll around the entire crew, though. And you realize, like, oh, there's an actual field that I just flew through? Or,
Yeah.
it's like, how is that being displayed? I don't know.
Survey says, look at you. Oh boy. He's so good at this game.
Grab a tea for me, JX. Plenty of milk. And then this right here. Because, you know, Star Wars was huge, like, 20 years before this.
Hyperspace.
Jump to warp speed. But I love it more because when you jump into the next level, you come out of warp speed. And you're like, what?
I don't actually recall that.
Well, you're about to recall it here in a moment.
Alright, there's the Space Armada.
And this is one of my favorite levels, too. You already know why. I was going crazy when you were playing this.
I would have loved to have heard what you were saying, like, while I was playing this, because I know I was getting my ass handed to me.
Right, you weren't reading chat, like, actively, but I can try to
Yeah, no,
recreate
I
some of that
couldn't
fun.
read chat actively, holy moly.
No need to
Forgive
be
me for
depressed,
sucking
son.
at the game.
We're having fun today with our commentator, Maestro. If you guys want to learn more about Maestro, who played this game for the first time, well, all the way through this year, and had me kind of guest commentating on him, now he's getting to watch somebody more acclimated with it since they were a kid play it and see how it's done. Hit ! guest, and you can follow Maestro's channel and see him try to attempt this game over again. Now he's learning a little bit better strat. Plus, he has great voice acting skills, as you'll see here in a moment.
The Andros Space Armada. The Space Armada consists of powerful battleships. Destroy their energy cores. Good luck.
See, you come out of
There
hyperspace.
he is. Yeah,
This
you
is
do
so
come out
cool.
of hyperspace,
And then the
yeah.
music kicks up, like right as soon as hyperspeed's exit. I love the music there.
Yeah, no, that's a pretty fancy detail. I don't think I caught that when. No, I don't think I did. I don't think I caught that at all. Oh, there it is.
Type B.
There he goes.
GG.
It's easy mode. This is it here. If you lose, I mean, I don't know about for you, but man, I was kicking myself when. Which one was? Yeah, it was Route 2. Man.
So you see how these rotate? You just shoot
Yeah.
the bottom level, and as they rotate through, you grab everything. And then you stage a bunch of shots on this thing, and you should be able to catch it before it goes down. And then you get a few points for that, which makes up if you miss some ships.
That's very helpful to know. Okay, these ring guys. What's their deal? Can you dodge those, or are they
You can
just,
deflect
like...
them.
Oh, okay.
I just tried not. I tried not to get in the habit of depending on my deflection. I'm always rolling, but I'm never like trying to get hit. You get what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely.
I think Chisholm wanted to say something to you about your voice acting performance. And here's the first ship, which if you were Maestro, you never went in this ship. You just went around. So when Slippy was
I was
like,
supposed to
"Should
go
we
in
go
here?"
in?" and Maestro was like, "Nope." And every time you would loop back around, and Slippy would be like, "Should we go in?" And Maestro's just like, nope, going around it, not gonna crash into that ship, not realizing it would open up for you.
Well, you know, there's no indicator that says, "Hey, man, you definitely can go into the ship."
It kinda is in the center of the screen. Slippy's like, should we go in? And tear it out from the inside, which I know when you did this, you loved it the first time.
Oh gosh, yes.
Going in a
got
ship
huge
and
thrill.
destroying it from the inside out.
Yeah, I got a huge thrill out of it.
And then realizing what this whole level was you destroying their entire armada.
Which, real talk, I mean, thinking about it, you're like, hold on a second, these like maybe 4 ships
Exactly, this one little
were
squad.
annihilating. Like, I was like, dude, these guys must be outrageously good.
The other thing we talk about with the Type B blasters is how similar they look to a lot of the enemy weapons. So it's almost like you have taken on their weapons for yourself.
I guess in that regard, yeah, because, well, you first pick up the first, power-up in Corneria, you know?
Right.
So...
But the other thing is, by the time you get these power-ups, they're only coming from, or they're in space, they're coming from those ships.
Yeah,
And
they're
those
only
ships are
coming from those
definitely
ships.
enemies, because if you don't shoot them fast enough, they will turn around and blast you.
I remember first being like, why is all those sense? And then I was like, ah, okay, I get it. Like, that's really impressive. That as you're passing it, it's like, hey, the wind from these,
Yeah, it's like passing you. Even though you're in
Yeah.
space, and like, sometimes that shouldn't happen.
No, but,
But,
I mean,
yeah, it's
well,
cool.
I mean, you're in a vacuum at the moment, you know, kind of like the inside of a ship, so I guess that would make sense, yeah? No.
Yeah, in a ship, yeah. But
Yeah,
that,
the ship, but
but that
outside of
definitely sets the precedent, because at this point, you're only flying through hallways. Later on in Route 2, you're actually having to avoid things coming up behind you.
Oh yeah.
So then you already know what it sounds like.
I was flipping out about that highway level. I thought that was like the coolest freaking thing, bro.
Right. But at that point, like, if you've been paying attention, the game has taught you, like, hey, this is the sound it makes when stuff is behind you or near you. Like all those missiles flying by right now. Which is how you know that even when they're not on screen, they can still be behind you, getting you. Which is why sometimes you get hit and you're like, what even hit me right now? And that was what it was.
Nah, freaking, what is it? Route 3 was the one with the monster guys that kind of popped out of the ocean, right?
That was 2.
That was 2?
Yeah. That was, Fortuna.
Thank goodness I don't have to deal with that crap anymore. Dude, that was so frustrating.
Hate Fortuna.
Dude, I was just getting mad with that level.
For some reason, as a kid, I associated this this ship with spaghetti. I think because my mom was giving me a plate of spaghetti when I was watching my dad play this level one time.
I was about to say, it looks more like a top, you know?
Yeah.
Something you grab from the top and then spin it and be like...
Yeah, but every time I see it, I'm like, yo, spaghetti. I don't know why. So sometimes on those little things with the arrows, your shots don't always register, so you try to shoot them in the center. And from like a certain distance away, otherwise sometimes you won't hit them.
Yeah, I know that confused the crap out of me the first time I did it.
I love how those guys come out. They're just like, surprise! But I also love it because it's their like last stand against you. Like, everyone get in the hangar, stop Fox! He's on his way.
Well, because this is legit the hangar to launch these ships out.
Right, and you just ran in it.
Like, real talk, I mean, there's
delicious,
a lot of carnage.
son. Delicious.
There's a lot of carnage going on in this game. I mean, realistically speaking, it's kind of just like, wow, like, Fox and friends are like tearing the F through all this crap, you know?
I mean, imagine some like pilot from pilot or just like a boatswain from like Venom who's like, don't worry honey, I'm gonna be at the biggest part of the fleet, like nothing will happen there because we have the most ships, like no one's ever gonna attack us.
Why'd you have to take it that route, man? Why'd you have to take it that route? Wow, that was outrageously fast. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of glitchy, like it's not a glitch, it's just those things are vulnerable before they look vulnerable, like the timing is off on them. This was 1992, so they don't expect it to be perfect, right?
Yeah, no, I hear that. And I was like, oh, yeah! That's great.
Imagine that, though. Like, you're Slippy or Falco or someone else, and you see Fox just fly in the big spaceship, and you're like, what the hell? And he just flies out, and the whole thing's blowing up.
You're like, wow, okay, I guess he took care of business, you know, alright.
And then you get to see the little planet we're going to in the background, and it has, like, a dark side and everything. I always love that, the transition between levels.
Look at this guy with his 100% again.
Definitely don't deny yourself, son. Make sure you get some good garlic bread with it. Now, I know you love this level because of the music. The music definitely does set it off.
Which one's the meteor?
Yeah.
I want to say I know which one this one is, but I'll let you know.
Alright, you ready?
Alright. Per your request, Jism. The battle-based meteor. Be sure to use your retros if you're going too fast. Be careful with my arm wings. Woof woof.
Good luck.
Good luck. It's great.
This music right here.
Okay, yes.
So see, because you already know what that noise is, they immediately send 2 guys to your right, and you hear that noise like, oh, something's really close to me.
Yeah.
Because I was a kid that played football, whenever I saw these lines on the ground, I always thought they were like football field lines. I thought Corneria was just like a huge football field.
I mean, me looking at it, I'm thinking more along the lines of like a landing area type kind of thing. Or like a runway, I guess. Yeah, that's right. Get extra tight.
I wasn't gonna do it. I only did it to show you that it could be done without breaking.
Okay, I guess.
You just you don't stick all the way to the right. You stick in the middle and you go to the right at the last minute. Whenever you're fighting the game like camera and it's like telling you to go back to the left or back to the right, it's always gonna slow down your speed and it's gonna make you fly all wonky, which is why you catch a lot of shots that you don't need to catch.
Okay.
Because you're just like hung up in one area.
Use any of your speed ups or your.
I used the brake once while we were in the ship.
I wasn't paying attention then.
It was very subtle.
Get lost, you fiend.
No, so I'm not constantly shooting so that I'm not hitting my teammates.
Gosh, no way, man. I gotta hit my teammates.
Ah, I lost my shield. Alright, that time I hit him, but I was aiming at something, he was in the way.
Right.
Notice this on the
Yeah,
left, how they have like a
something else.
hangar where those tanks come out? I always thought that was cool. It's just one of those gates you fly through, but it's sideways as an asset.
Wait, what do you mean?
Hold on a second. Hey Shikara, how are you doing? I hope you enjoyed that 9-month.
Wow. That was...
I forgot that was a thing.
Dude, I
was
was looking
like-
at it myself. I was like, wait, what is this?
I was like, no one's ever gonna subscribe for 9 months straight. We are never gonna have to see that.
Oh,
Well,
my goodness.
now you know my terrible dark secret, Shikara. Shikara, how are you doing? How are the dogs? How's dad? How's neighbor girl? Oh my gosh.
That
was great.
that was a little surprising. I'm not gonna lie.
Right, Wiz? Like, who doesn't eat spaghetti? I think, like, spaghetti is everywhere, every country I've been to. In Korea, they even have, like, different variations on spaghetti. You can get it cold, which is, like, a traditional thing for a different noodle thing that they serve over there. So they got their hands on spaghetti. They were like, all right, let's make a cold version. Everybody's like, what the hell? It's actually pretty good on a summer day when you're trying to cool down. Definitely was something, right,
Like
JX?
Cold noodles? I've
Yeah.
had cold noodles before.
Yeah. Cold
That-
noodles,
that-
like in a soup. Like a cold soup to cool off, but cold spaghetti. No, that's...
Okay, so I haven't had it where it's formally made that way, but I've eaten cold spaghetti, and it's actually pretty good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's made by Koreans and lazy Americans.
Yeah, it's definitely lazy Americans.
You were raised on spaghetti? Exactly. All that pasta, carbs for your muscles. All that meat and protein, vegetable sauce for your complexion. I hate those helicopters, honestly. They're very strong. Without Type B, they're a pain.
Oh, I wasn't paying attention.
The ones that you're constantly shooting down in the sky. You missed them a lot, which is why you got shot a lot. Because I guess you didn't perceive them as enemies. You just thought they were random pixels.
Probably. That sounds like something that I would do.
These guys right here, in front of me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you know what? I completely I remember that
Oh,
now. Where
here we
I
go.
was just like, what am I getting hit with? Ah, this guy. I
So,
remember this
yeah.
guy.
As a 3-year-old trying to read, I thought his name was the Dancing Inspector. So I always imagine like the top part of this guy, like the little cone head part, like sticking out of a like a jacket, like a detective jacket, private eye.
Oh, gosh,
I don't know why.
really?
I was 3, dude.
Jeez, I wasn't aware that you were playing this game from such a young age. I thought you said you were 6.
I was 5. No, I was 4 when I beat it the first time.
Oh, wow.
It was like on a morning before preschool, and I yelled to my mom. I was like, I did it! I beat Star Fox! She's just looking at me like, okay.
Congrats. I have to support my son's accomplishments, but I don't even know what Star Fox is.
And I was playing this on one of those TVs with the knobs. I had to turn it to 2 and 13 in order to get this to show up.
Okay.
2 on the top, 13 on the bottom.
Okay, now my TV with the knobs was 3 was for the Nintendo and 4 was for the SNES.
Nice. You used to, Jay. I was talking about some used to. And yes, the stage music is excellent, Nikki, in this. Which is why I like a
I
lot of the
actually
recent
really
Star
like
Fox
this
games that I need
also.
to check out, because apparently in a lot of the recent Star Fox games, they've remixed a lot of these, like, more classic tracks.
I've actually been fond, like, I've actually caught myself humming that boss song a couple of times. It's pretty cool.
See, what I like is this, like, miracle music, right? Like, every time you beat something, you get that victory music, right? But every time you go up against a last level, you blow up the mid-boss, but no music plays, and you're like, wait a minute. Right? Oh, right, there's still, like, Andros.
Look at him, he's so good. Look at all the credits he's got. Saving all these credits for
I
this
wish we
last
could
level.
carry him over to Route 3. I'm gonna need them credits.
Oof, gosh. Are you playing Route 3 today?
Really, Sint? Why did people tell you about that? We're gonna try Route 3, no promises on Route 3. But I do have something else in store for you after Route 3.
Okay. I'm
Maybe.
pretty sure I already know.
Maybe.
You know,
Yeah,
that's
you ruined the surprise.
Venom, the final goal. Oh gosh. Andros is hiding on Venom. Fox, you must find his core brain and destroy it.
Remember that. His core brain. His core brain.
Core brain.
The game was trying to give you some hints. And you were just like, nah, That's just
Wait,
flavored text.
What are you talking about? Of course, it's his core brain. You blow up the other thing, and then and after you blow up the face guy, then the other thing pops up, and you gotta blow it up, right? Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Same thing here. Blow up the first dudes, get to safety, pull out that camera.
And no, dude, you gotta stay in first person mode. That's the only way to play this game.
I don't know how you play in first person mode, like not
Dude,
knowing
if they
where your
allowed
ship
me-
is.
If they allowed me to play the other stages in first person mode, I absolutely would.
You might like 64 more, because you can do that then, but in 64, you have a reticle for aiming, so you kinda don't need it. You also have a homing attack.
Yeah, I was watching, I'm not sure which one it was, Black and Nola. I'm not sure if it was because he saw me playing the other day.
It's because of that. It's absolutely because of that.
It was.
I was watching too. I was like, yo, he totally got the
Star
Starbucks one. So he played 64.
I was like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
And then after
This all
Star
started
Fox
with you,
64,
damn it, Q.
we'll play Wizard 64. No, he was actually, I think around the same time last year, he was revisiting a lot of old Nintendo stuff. So he played like a lot of the Metroids. There's a secret thing you can do to get something to appear in the middle of this. I don't know what it is.
Wow, they're giving you a lot of bombs even though you're full and you have yet to even use a single bomb.
I forget.
I guess that's the hallmark of a truly skilled starfighter pilot.
Thanks for the raid, Dev. How are you doing? AJ, can I get shout out for Devlin? Please?
Raid time. Hype.
I don't even know if that alert is set up for that. I thought I set it up, but I think it's only on Siege. But I appreciate it in either case, Devlin.
You know, when I first was looking up all of the streaming settings and whatnot, I saw there was a thing said rating, and I was like, I don't know what this is about, and so I disabled it, and I was like, I don't know what it is, and I don't want to get in trouble with anything, so whatever. And then I realized what it was, and I was like, you know, I probably should have enabled that.
It hasn't been that long. It's been maybe a month since I last talked to you. How you doing, my man? And what were you up to this evening? So you notice how there's like a rhythm to the rolls, but I'm not even like rolling to get out of anything. I'm just rolling because it's just so you're always deflecting.
Let me see. When I played it, I had my finger for that. Yeah, I was using my middle finger for the R and L and R buttons.
What did you think of this level setup, by the way, with the planet side like right below you?
Oh, I think that's gorgeous. I think that's absolutely gorgeous to have that. This guy. Okay.
My favorite dude, Fantron.
Yeah, I bet this guy. Man,
I love this guy.
This guy legit made me. This was the biggest problem, and I will say the fact that look at that. That's so freaking cool, man. I mean,
What, when he splits and you're like, what the hell?
Absolutely. Watching you play, I can fully appreciate it. When I was playing it though, I was in full panic mode because I was like, what is this Naruto crap?
Right. Well, when he goes in circles and he starts leaving shadow jutsu everywhere, you're like, what in the world?
No, but back to what you were saying about having the
1 second.
on like the lower end of the screen. I thought that was just gorgeous because you're like, look, we are like there. Okay, we're right freaking there. We just got to take out whatever resistance is left here.
And then again, the transition goes right down there. And then I love this because you dive bomb. My dad would always make me think I was crashing here. My dad would also give me the second controller and tell me that I was Slippy, so I hated that. Lord Anakai, how are you doing? Has anyone ever tricked you into being Slippy?
Tricked you into being Slippy. Oh boy. Oh yes, I remember those things.
Yo,
very
I want to
well. I
know,
haven't dealt with them in a while.
what did you think of those blocks the first time you saw them? Because you had a lot of trouble.
Yes, the first time I saw them, you know what it was? It was because they were coming at me at a pace that I was not expecting, and I panicked, so I shot at it, and then the first time one of them hit me, I was like, oh gosh, I wasn't supposed to shoot it because the arrow was already pointing the other way. And then there's that one section where there's like 2 or 3 of them, like back to back. Like, I think it's
this.
right here, right? Yeah, and I got so confused. Yeah, you're supposed to shoot that one. I got so confused on what I was actually supposed to do that legit I got hit by like 2 or 3 of them, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Well,
I'm
you would
about to
shoot
die.
one, and then you would like roll into it, and I was like, what in the world? What are you doing?
Yeah, I was. You saw I was spamming the roll like all the time, just as an effort to like.
I don't think you
dodge
realized that
whatever
the
I
roll
could.
actually affected how you flew, either.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Do you notice, like, when you shoot some of these dudes, if you don't destroy them in air, they kind of, like, lose control and, like, blow up later?
No, I
They kind of
didn't
spin
notice
out.
that.
Like, here, next time we see a yellow dude, I'll just pop him once and then watch what happens to his ship. Oh, not that one.
I think your B type.
Yeah,
is
might be a little too strong
much.
for him.
Yeah,
You missed the
I
first...
think
I did it, like,
your one
3
shot
times
is
earlier,
nice.
and you didn't even notice.
Oh, man.
Notice that slowdown happening, and then everything speeds up again.
Yeah,
You're like, what
yeah,
the hell?
This crap. I remember this.
If you don't have type B here, like, I feel for you. I really do.
What happened?
Like, if you don't have type B when you're doing that, I feel for anybody.
Oh,
Like,
gosh, it's probably like, yeah, like I said, well, like you had said, you get type B, you're playing the game on easy mode. It's like GG, but holy moly, before then, it's just like, gosh, please stop. Ah, this trap. I remember this when you were like, "Oh, you're supposed to rocket through to get it." And
Yeah,
I
like
was
that?
Too dumb to
so easy. It's so easy.
Oh gosh, it was, I was like, how am I supposed to get that without getting hit? I'm always getting hit with that thing. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Devlin, did you ever play some Star Fox stuff back in the day? I love this. I love how he shows back up, and you're like, wait, what a minute.
Yeah.
Did we already fight?
Yeah, it was like, wait a second.
And I was just like, oh.
In regards to that stage theme, it sucks because I was first introduced to that stage theme via when I was playing Melee. That's the first time I actually like wound up hearing that song. So
When I was a
thought it
kid
was such a
and he
cool
turned around like this, I thought like, oh, maybe he's gonna decide to fight for us and be friends or something. Or like I thought, oh, maybe his thing will detach and it'll like attach to Fox's ship and make it like a super armored ship or something, and it'll help us fight. And it was like, no, he just transformed and he's back to kick more ass.
I mean, the music cue should have like told you, you know, like, hey,
Dun,
this
dun,
is
dun, dun,
sounding-
dun, dun,
yeah,
dun, dun, like, oh no,
like, hey, man,
this
is
right
really
here,
bad.
the jump, and you're like, and he's still doing his shadow moves. I love it. Never played Star Fox, Dev? You're missing out, my man.
So why don't you shoot one of your bombs at him and show us what
No,
actually happens?
you get like one-shot missile. I've never even done it. Like, I've just read about it, and I was like, no, I'm never doing that. And when he splits into 3, I know in space, if you try to bomb him, because you're like, oh, I'll just bomb him out, that's easy. He shoots like a one-shot missile back at you. You're like, what the hell? And I left him alive just so we can get to one of my favorite moments, which I didn't do last night by accident. So he jumps away from you, and you're like, oh, he's standing still. What's he doing? And he's like, choo, shadow kick, Liu Kang.
Yeah, legit, that caught me by total surprise.
And it does, everybody, because he just stands there, and you're like, what's he doing?
What?
You're like, oh, free hits, and then suddenly that. So you notice if you control your up and down on the screen, and you go up and down, the missiles just keep flying over me, and I don't even have to shoot most of them.
Oh, that's very helpful to know, because I tell you, oh, I think he's dead. It's very helpful to know, because dude, I had such a hard time dodging some of those missiles.
Rumble Racing? I never even heard of it, son. Tell me about it. I never knew why Fox took that extra, like, spin to get in there.
Oh, because you know, he's showing off, bro. You gotta keep it classic.
But notice that they give you enough track here to realize that you're playing.
Yeah, so that you're still in. But your
'Cause-
foolish efforts are futile.
Because previously, these transitions were cutscenes, or, you know, scripted. So you kind of didn't realize, oh, this is actually me.
Ooh. Hey, look. Not that you need it.
As a kid, that was normally a wing repair, which you did at one point.
Our wings have no chance against me. And then it gets trippy as F.
I love how these
Trying to
flying
figure
in
out-
behind you, and they make the noise, like you're thinking, holy crap. So one of the things you can do is stage shots, and you're pretty much just flying a U. You're going here, and then when it gets too close, you back down, and you come back up. And then, even though his eyes are closed, you can stage your shots to where when he opens his eyes back up, they're already, like, flying into his eye.
Oh, okay, I'll have to see how you're doing that. Oh, look, you don't have to dodge any. Well, that's just a bit. I very much so enjoy the sound of him getting hit. I'm just saying. That may have to do with the fact that I'm not too fond of this boss, but you know, I just like the sound when you hit him.
That sound freaked me out when I was a kid, man. It sounded like ghosts screaming because I played Quake, and it sounded like the ghost dudes from Quake making noise.
The ghost dudes from where?
Quake.
I'm not familiar.
One of the first FPS. That's what Half-Life was built off of.
Oh, okay.
FPS on the computer, made by id, same people who made Doom before that.
Okay, yeah. My history on that is it's not strong. I won't lie. Dude, like almost none of those came close to.
I'm making very, very minute changes, though. The minute changes I'm doing are changing the direction that they're flying, and it's allowing me to fly in between them.
Yeah, you know what? That first eye just blew up so easily, and I feel like the second eye was such a pain to blow up because, like, I don't know, I felt like it had like extra health or something.
You always get desperate, too.
Yeah.
But see, like, I'm setting myself up here to shoot the eyes, but I'm not watching my ship. I'm watching all the blocks coming towards me to see if I need to dodge or not, while I just hammer on the fire button.
Oh boy, wow! You didn't even have to. You didn't even reform.
That was your life when you were a kid, Scent. Well, I hope you enjoyed it. We all have games that make ourselves like that. This is one of those games for me, which is why I'm enjoying doing it over again for you guys, and mostly for Maestro.
Going out of there. Yeah, that's like such a Star Wars.
Right, JX? You ready for Route 2, JX? But yeah, in the 64, they definitely dropped a lot more Star Wars references, as well as, you know, Independence Day references and all sorts of stuff, because, you know, this was post-sci-fi, where sci-fi was getting strong. Everybody wanted this kind of stuff. Some people argue that by having the anthropomorphic animal kind of deal, Nintendo stayed to a classic style with these games, and had they not done it, these games wouldn't have been as popular.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because it's more cartoony and more child friendly instead of like having real adult like men and women and ships blowing the F out of other people?
I think it's not because of being cartoony or child friendly, but it's just that those characters are memorable. When you think about Sonic, Crash, even Mario. Mario is not like a regular dude. He's a little short dude. He doesn't look human. And he's even in games where there's actual humans now, so it's like, what? Yeah, whereas you look at guys like, I don't know, it's hard to make them iconic. Like, think about Sony's Battlestars or whatever. Like, who do they have? They have guys like Snake, who's a guy, he's human. You have Kratos, who is imbued with the gods, but he is a human. He's a dude. Whereas you have guys like Fox, Falco, you know, you think about your Crash Bandicoot, your Sonics, all that. That was like something that they were predicting would be the part to keep it interesting for years and years to come. And yeah, like Wiz said, they're popular with the furry community.
Oh, wait, hold on. Here we go.
Congratulations on a job well done.
Roger. I'm heading back to Corneria.
Sounds like you have an anger problem, son.
Sure.
What, having the recorded voices?
Having the voices in there.
I'm wondering who they grabbed. Like, they just grabbed some janitor or something, like cleaning up the offices. Like, yo, come here real quick.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome, Nikki. I too made a lot of toys myself. Did I tell you that I made a 3D model of Fantron when I was a kid? I put that in my YouTube video. I'm not sure if you saw that, Nikki.
I don't recall you saying. I probably just didn't pay enough attention to.
Yeah, it's his transform form.
When you speak, there's a lot of times I don't listen, so. You know.
Yeah, I'm used to that. Exactly, Wes. Hey, Unreal, how are you doing? We just beat Route 1. We're getting ready to do Route 2. For some reason, I love these segments. And this music right here, like, this stayed with me, like, as a kid through everything. Like, this music would just play in my head. Like, I already told you, the damage noise will play in my head when you get low health.
Yeah. That's very, I don't know, to me that seems a little odd, but at the same time, it's kind of, I don't know, I find that, like, not to sound like demeaning or anything, but that sounds cute. I don't know why, I find that to be kind of funny, where it's like, you get hurt, and you get hurt, it's like, reality, you get hurt with something really bad, and then you're just like, and you hear the sound, and you're just like,
there he is.
Oh man, like what?
There's the boy.
That bastard. Yeah, that was the dude, that was the bane of my Route 1. Like, after him, nothing else was bad.
And I love
Even-
this, how they intro it. They show him regular, and they show him transform, and I'm like, hell yeah.
Yeah, even Andros on Route 1 didn't give me a hard time like Fantron did. Like Fantron legit was the whole reason why I couldn't beat Route 1 at first.
But yeah, that extended model, the transform one, that's the one I made in 3rd grade. Used a few like skewer sticks for the legs, and everything else we just kind of like fashioned out of cardboard.
Do you have the picture of it on the YouTube video?
Nah, that thing's long gone. It's 3rd grade, man. This is what? It's like 18
Bro,
years
I
ago.
still have stuff I made from 3rd grade. Granted, they're not models; they're just like pictures and stuff. But you know.
You did tell me, Sense. You did tell me that. But yeah, Nikki, if you remember, like, when Gundam Wing came to the US, I couldn't afford the models because you had to, like, import them from Japan. So I printed out, like, a picture of Death Scythe, and I, like, cut out cardboard, and then I cut out the weapons, and I stapled the weapons to the cardboard picture thing I made, and I made that my Gundam toy.
That's a very determined young man.
Oh, yeah. Alright, are we ready to jump into round 2? Just give me a second so I can check on Iggy. Also, we missed Miyamoto. Yamada is apparently the one that is actually behind a lot of this stuff. But Miyamoto is just, you know, he just signs his name on it. And then, of course, there's the actual programming team, the European guys.
Yeah, I was surprised to see.
They had
like,
already made
other
this game.
names.
So, remember that. These European guys, the game was already made. They presented it to Nintendo. And Nintendo was like, it's a good game, but it looks like crap. Put some animals in it, make it more interesting. In fact, here's some money, give us the game, and let us redo it. So understand that this was actually a European game.
Ooh, okay. So, wow. And I'm sure those European guys now are like, wow, we just sold something that wound up becoming like a multi-million-dollar, you know.
Right. It's still a franchise. Games are still coming out.
Yeah.
Star Fox 2 just came out officially last
that
year.
Koji Kondo. I gotta love him.
Now here's the dude you need to pay attention to.
Hajime
The composer.
Hirasawa. I'm gonna have to actually look that name up.
Alright, let me check on Iggy, and then we'll skip credits and go straight to 2. Yeah, these guys. Argonaut Software, assisted by... No, they made the game. Argonaut Software made the game, and they were like, we need more power in order to put this on the Super Nintendo. That's how the FX chip came about.
Okay,
Without
that
the
makes
European company, Nintendo would have never made this game and would have never been like, oh, look how technically awesome Nintendo can be.
sense.
Alright, Iggy is still sound asleep, so I believe we can get in a Route 2.
Okay. Alright. Ben Cheese, best name ever. I didn't actually see that one, Sin.
We're actually out of sync right now. The music is done, but the credits aren't, because the credits slowed down for a bit. But that's what happens when you play on emulators.
I was about to say that happened on mine as well. Like when I played it, it was like, oh, okay, I guess this is all just silent. Alright.
Alright, and all it would do is show the score at the ending. Do we need to see the score at the ending?
I mean, I'm not entirely sure you do. I know that you got 95%. So.
Yeah, we saw it like in the screen before all the credits start rolling, right? But then you get like the official one,
maybe?
which comes here
There
with
it
the
is.
end.
Yeah.
As they show off these like really at the top of the line at the time, like crazy 3D model stuff. Only game don't have no loop function, so you can't just hit start and play again, because
no.
memory
I actually
in
like
games?
I actually like games that do that. Okay, like I actually really like games that do that.
I honestly
But
wonder.
This is the end of the
Yeah,
game.
but I honestly wonder if we went back to like older systems like that, if a lot of games would be a lot simpler and cheaper and more refined because they're not spending a bunch of money on hardware and assets that they have to use.
What, that they would do that?
Yeah, like password systems and other stuff like that. Or just games like this that had no memory to them. Once the Star Fox Adventures played through, as soon as I get a capture card and I can hook up my GameCube, I'll definitely take us through it.
Not Star Fox
Dinosaur
Adventure.
Planet, which again is not a Star Fox game, but Nintendo took it and made it a Star Fox game. So that's two Star Fox games that were not Star Fox games. I just want to remind people of this. It's important to understand, because Star Fox is considered like one of Nintendo's stronger franchises. And you're like, yo, this wasn't Nintendo's game, or at least not the first one. Alright, on to Route 2, which I have like a 75% chance of hitting on. Do I have a charm for winning Pro League on R6? I do not, because I've never played Pro League, so I could not win Pro League since. But I believe you already knew that.
Oh boy.
Alright, ready for Route 2? I hope your vocal
I'm ready,
cords
man.
are changed up, because you're going to be commentating this one as much. Exactly, Wiz, and the other ones are just remakes. Well, 64 had a lot of good work into it. You know, the sub, the tank. The sub and the tank were taken from Star Fox 2, which, you know, Star Fox 2 had never come out officially at the time, so they recycled a lot of those ideas into 64, and then a lot of the mission planning ideas, those got recycled into Star Fox... Not Assault. Assault was on the 3D, or on the DS. There was a different... Or, Assault was on the GameCube. There was a different Star Fox... Oh, Command. Star Fox Command on the DS had a lot of the features from Star Fox 2 bumped into it too, so they continued those features on. They did continue to develop it, but it's just kind of funny, like, this wasn't originally a Nintendo game. They just made a flying game. And hi, Gazu. Welcome back. Alright, you ready, Maestro?
So wait, I'm ready, but quick question. So what was the story behind Star Fox 2? Did it come out in Japan and it just never made it to the US, or did
No,
it just,
it was...
like, never get released?
It was never finished. When they were working on it, the Super Nintendo was at the end of its life. So it was like, why keep working on this game when, you know, we're about to drop the N64, like, next year.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
so it was kind of
wow.
lost. Now, that being
So what
said,
happened? They
when...
just finished it?
Well, when the ROMs resurfaced, a lot of people, no one could play it because they weren't a finished game. A lot of people took the ROMs and they fan-hacked it and they made it playable, but, you know, there was only so much content. From there, more fans over the years took what was there and they added in, like, their content and levels to try to make a finished game. Only last year, when Nintendo was making the Mini, or maybe it was the year before last, pretty sure it was last year, they took all their data originally and they finished the game as they would want to finish it, and then they got all the artwork and everything done officially for the game, which is why all the new artwork for Star Fox and Falco and stuff is popping up. And it's new anime style, but it looks like something from the 80s or 90s.
Yeah.
Exactly, Wiz. Exactly.
That's pretty good. And yes, pixel art definitely does age pretty decently. As long as it's done well. But
Yeah, and a lot of that is just a strength and fidelity. When you design stuff, whether it's games, art, or whatever, if you make it be what it should be, people are going to recognize that moving forward. Like the black hole we're looking at on this map. It doesn't look like the black hole in Interstellar, but it looks like a black hole because it's not people cutting corners and being like, this is all we have, so people just have to understand it. It's like, no, let's take what we have and make it look like what it should look like. And you can see a little vortex going on in that black hole if you really look at it. And you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
there is. But funnily enough, and last thing before we continue, I always found like 2D art would always, as long as it was done well, like at the pinnacle of, I guess, the peak of its time, like when 2D art came out, and then, for example, I guess like Disney movies, those kind of like 2D animated movies, and then you would look at like, I guess, the best 3D that, you know, they had to offer. 3D, in my opinion, like never ages well. And I'm guessing it's probably because the technology for the 3D always continues to increase and, like, you know, blow our minds. But the 2D stuff, even like looking back, I was watching Lion King the other day, and all things aside from it being like a fantastic movie and whatnot, animation-wise and just general picture and everything I was looking at, I was like, yo, this is actually like really still amazing, you know?
And if you guys want to know more about our guest, hit !guest, and you can hear who's here talking with me and commentating today.
Indeed.
Just
Canary,
water,
the
so.
base. Oh, yeah, it's this again. Star Fox team, our last resort is to counterattack Venom. Good luck.
It doesn't tell us how we're going to do it. Doesn't,
No.
like, say, yo, we're going to
The
help you
third
out.
one, he says some stuff in the third one, right? Oh,
A
yeah.
little
He's
bit.
like, oh, boy. He's like, yeah, you chose. Good luck. He's like, yeah, you chose to go on the other thing to surprise them. Really good idea, or whatever. And it was like, wait, what?
This scene will never die to me. This is like the scene every time. And after we're doing Route 2, assuming that we finish it successfully, we will take a break to look at the tribute to Star Fox that was remade in modern 1080p and graphics and all that. I think you guys will like it, if you're Star Fox fans or if you're new to this. Especially after you've seen these sequences. All of it.
Oh,
The whole tribute. I missed the first dude. What am I doing? There we go.
no, you got him. You know what was funny? I always heard this song used in YouTube videos, like all over the freaking internet. And then it wasn't until I started playing the game I was like, this is where this song comes from. That's amazing. I had no idea.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy when that happens, right?
Yeah.
Like, there's a guy I watch who makes Halo videos, but all of his music comes from Rainbow Six Siege, and I'm like, wait a minute, I know this song.
I would have tried speeding through that.
I know you would have. You can do it. It's doable.
No, I'm looking at the way that you're doing all this fun stuff because I'm taking mental notes here.
Yeah.
Even though like this doesn't really apply to routes 1 or 2 anymore because you know they're
Well, this is Route 2.
and-
Oh, you mean like you're never gonna do it again? What, you don't want to make a perfect run at Route 2 with no continues?
Maybe I don't.
No hit run, no death run? I used to do no hit runs of this.
Oh jeez, I can't imagine. So you would already have to reset because you just.
Oh
got
yeah,
hit.
absolutely. But that's not what tonight is about. Tonight is just us enjoying this. Retro Bros Unite!
Indeed, always.
Just a little bit less,
I'm
son.
gonna
Just a
have
little
to- I'm
bit.
gonna have to think of a game that I absolutely like adore. That what was it? You know, sometimes on my stream, there's a gentleman by the name of the Lost Eyeball, and he sometimes shows up and gives like funny commentary and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
You can just go over those. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know why you do it. I don't know. I watch you play, and I'm just like, why is he trying to do that?
I'm trying to go like to tilt the ship, and I'm like, wait, you could just go over them? That's insane. But yeah, no, so Lost Eyeball is a guy who also streams a lot of.
And thanks,
retro
JX.
stuff.
I'll see you later.
Have a good one, JX. Yeah, wish him good luck, because he's gonna need it, because he's very bad at this game. But yeah, no, so that guy, he shows up at the stream sometimes, and he plays a lot of old games as well.
Yeah,
So
I watch him.
I get such a thrill out of seeing people play games that, especially like that I'm aware of. Like he was playing not. Ooh.
Damn it! Go ahead, sorry. I'm listening to you a little bit too
I
much.
wasn't even it didn't do that in the first one, right?
No, not that time. Or not the first time, no.
But what I'm saying, in Route 1, it didn't like come from behind that it would hit you, right?
No, it would. It just didn't do it immediately.
Uh-oh.
So you had a little bit of time to be like, huh, what the hell's going on?
Okay.
So watch this. You can stage all these shots before he even opens this up. Then you can abandon it before it even blows up and focus on the top one. And then, like, this is done.
Yeah, that's a little obnoxiously fast. But I was doing that. The second, no, not the second. I want to say the third time. Okay, maybe it was like the fourth time, because I did Route 2 like a bunch of times, because I just kept dying. I want to say it was maybe like the fourth time where I was like already familiar enough with the way the game worked that I was just like, let's just plow through it, you know? Yeah, no, so in regards to that guy though, he was playing, it's an old NES game and it has so much meaning and significance to me that if at any given time you ever wanted to play, I would totally sit down and watch you play through. It's called Star Tropics and it's a phenomenal
Star
game.
Tropics. Interesting.
Star Tropics. Big
Alright.
puzzle action-y type kind of game for the NES. It's fantastic.
Ready for the first map that I hate?
This one, if I'm not mistaken, this is the one that I like. I hate this map, but I like the music.
Oh, the music's great. I hate
the music
playing
for
this.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of this map either. But you already knew that. 'Cause
All
I
those
get,
sectors,
all
dude.
the pillars, man. All the pillars. Sector X. Andross's forces intend to build a base in this area. Destroy the rock crusher. Good luck.
Well, make sure you get some water mixed in there, son. That way you'd wake up in the morning, know what I mean?
Good luck.
But nah, I hate all the sector levels. I hate them. The passion.
Yeah, it is this song. I actually really like this song.
Oh, am I not
And
hitting?
the reason, okay,
There we go.
You got it. The reason why I like this song is because when all of the pillars actually start coming, and there's nothing even firing at you. It's just how well can you dodge.
And it's like,
by the
dun,
time
dun,
that-
dun, 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 dun. You're like, oh shit.
Just
makes it worse.
oh my god! Yeah, it makes it so thrilling though. It's great. I thought that was really like. I know I didn't comment. Like, see stuff like this happening, but except when the second time that it happens, that it loops and it's like every pillar under the sun is like trying to get you. I very much so enjoyed that. I was like, wow, that's actually really fantastic.
Ah,
Ooh.
didn't get what I wanted there.
Gotta watch out for those T's.
Now watch this. Instead of dodging, you just go through the middle of these.
I did go through the middle of these.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Did you do it without getting hit?
Okay, yes, I did it without getting hit. It was the next section that effed me over.
Alright, the next section is horrible though. Like,
Yeah.
no lie. I need
These
this.
guys like just materialized in front of you.
Yep.
There we go. Oh my gosh, it's on.
But because I didn't kill those guys, now I gotta deal with them now. Otherwise they can mess you up. That guy was gold. I don't remember that. Then there's this shit.
Okay, yeah, this is where I was legit getting effed up. By the time I made it to this point, I needed that shield because I was at the brink of death.
Ah, like even if you deflect with a shield, it takes away from your shield, so I hate doing it.
Okay. Jeez, that thing is spinning fast.
Right?
Okay.
Like you can't judge it when you're far away. You have to judge it like right when you get close, and I hate it.
Mm-hmm. Yo, Peppy, you need to step away. Step out of the way, bro.
I never understood these. They're vulnerable when they turn, but sometimes when they turn, they're not vulnerable. So it's like really weird. You just got to keep firing at them and like hope.
Yeah, I kind of found the same thing in that. Okay, this is where. No, it's not here just yet. It's about to be though. Okay, here it is. It freaking hit the fan.
Yeah, you're just like, I thought they were doing construction here. Like, what the hell happened? They not finish anything? They just like sent their materials with no bundles or anything like that. Not a bad hit though. Didn't get the multi-hit.
Wasn't that bad, yeah. Oh no, you're gonna let Falco take some damage. Oh no, he's hit.
He'll be okay. Ah, I needed that. I don't know why I let that
What are you
go.
talking about? You're good.
I needed that, trust me.
Not against this guy.
Is that a wabbit? Probably. Stay gold, shooter boy. Wiz just caused me to take a shot that I didn't need to take. That one was my fault though.
Oh my gosh!
I was trying to dodge a missile, so I was in the wrong place.
I dodged in my seat. I legit dodged in my
Like
seat.
you had turned. Like, do you have your controller in your hand? Are you playing my player too?
Playing this game. Yeah, you see when I play this game, I'm moving left and right, and things like it's actually doing anything for me, and I'm just like, oh gosh. That's the hallmark of a good game.
Where everybody watching is just like, ah!
Yeah, everyone's just like kind of panicking. It's looking good, folks.
But I love this because you see Corneria below you, and we're leaving Corneria to go to the other planet.
Oh gosh, yeah, next planet. Holy moly.
I'm trying to remember what the next planet is. I don't remember.
Isn't this Titania?
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Titania.
Titania's not bad. It was horrible for you.
It was bad for me!
But you had a few cognitive issues there.
Well, I figured it out on my own before you guys even said, before you had said anything. I eventually figured out, like, this is just a loop. What am I supposed to do here? And I was like,
Yeah.
I guess I should maybe check that.
You went through the loop like a good 10 times. Now that being said, you might want to mute your headphones. Or actually, I'm going to mute. No, it won't help you. You might want to mute your headphones because I'm going to take a quick break. And I'll be right back for you guys after a bathroom break. And then we'll continue on Route 2. And then we'll watch a little bit of Tribute. And then maybe we'll take an attempt at Route 3. So, be right back. Alright, we're back.
My own mic, so yeah.
Let's get back to continuing Route 2 and see if I can keep it up. Because Route 2, there's a couple parts that I tend to mess up on. Like, really bad. And once you, like, hit one bad streak, it just snowballs. So we'll try to get it right.
I feel like you handled Sector X pretty well.
There's a few secrets of the game that I want to show you, but I'm telling you right now I won't be able to. I'll have to show you another time. Just remember that secrets do exist.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind.
But no, that was not my best Sector X run. I hate all the sector levels. They're just... I hate dodging stuff.
Here's the planet Titania. Corneria's resource world has been overrun. You must retake the weather control unit.
See, now remember that. This is Corneria's resource world. and they had a weather unit here. So they were oppressing other planets and turning them into winter wastelands in order to mine their resources. Venom was just trying to liberate the area. I don't know. It seems like what it could have been.
Good luck.
This is the first time that I actually like this song a lot too.
Yeah.
This is the first time that General Pepper is not telling you to destroy something. Really. Whoops.
He does tell you the weather control station, take it back over. He just doesn't really tell you what it is.
Yeah, he doesn't tell you to destroy anything though, because otherwise he's like, you need to destroy this, destroy that.
Oh well. I didn't hit it. I didn't like actually shoot it. I shot underneath it.
Shot it. I mean, just shot it.
It's really hard to see these colors for me.
Any particular reason why?
No, just so bright.
Gotcha.
So like seeing blue and white on blue and white, I'm just like, what?
Crap battle.
Crap battle.
Alright, see. If you weren't like already fully loaded up on
Yeah, you could farm here for health and
yeah,
ammo
I
and
absolutely
whatever you
farmed
want.
the F out of that because I was like, I kind of need my Type B.
Which is kind of lucky for you because I was like, yeah, you really don't want to try this without Type B.
Yeah, it's pretty obnoxious without Type B. I know.
Damn helicopters. I'm trying, Pepe.
A lot of points right there.
Yeah, you're right.
So what's with the red crabs?
They're just the same ones.
They just changed.
They just changed because of the weather.
Now, okay, yeah, the weather. Okay.
Venom did
I should've
nothing
figured that
wrong.
much.
Exactly, Wiz.
Oh boy, rock'em sock'em robots. I'm surprised they actually gave that to you.
What? You don't know how to tell the angles, Venom?
No,
It's a wonky sense of three dimension. Like you just have to learn how to read it.
Like they were gonna let you
All right.
move all the way
You want to
to the
know?
left.
You want to know a secret? Look at the lines at the bottom, right? You see how they're
Okay.
straight? So it tells you where you're straight. When they're angled, it kind of tells you where you are as well. When you're not exactly straight, so it allows you to tell like when you're sideways enough to catch a shot or dodge something or not.
Okay, I guess that makes sense.
I messed that up.
Wait, I imagine, do those lines exist on Route 3 as well, or did they take them out just to be like,
I don't even know,
this as difficult
honestly.
as possible?
I don't think it's an official game thing. It's just one of those things that was a result of what they did. It wasn't like on purpose.
Here's some guides to help you, or?
Nah, I don't think it was on purpose at all. I think it was just like, oh, it happens to be here, and I just kind of figured that out one time.
Okay.
Yeah, Wiz, they've been boiled. There we go.
Blue crab.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And then he leaves, and you're like, alright, later. I don't know what that was about.
Okay, that's the end of that.
Also, the fact that you just flew into a castle, and then it's like, nope, outside.
Yeah, this song was cool too.
I thought it was cool because of what Hanger was doing, and you're just like, what the hell? It's like, who is this guy talking to me? And then suddenly you're on this level with him, which is so cool. The background, the part in the middle where he's actually hanging off of, the music to go along with it.
I mean, amusingly enough, he himself didn't try shooting at you. He was just launching, you know, enemy units. Ah, he's dead. Da 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 do 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 do. So you say you never lost any of these guys, right?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think so.
I imagine what happens if you lose one of the guys. Are they like gone for good, or is it just like they're not gonna help you anymore?
I have no idea. I've done it on N64, like on purpose. I've never done it on this.
Like, yeah, I don't really care about this. Oh boy, Sector Y. This is where it really hits the fan, man.
Wait, is this the fish? If this is the fish, then we're good.
No, this is the one with the bubble stuff.
Yeah, and the
R-wings
fish.
handling. If an amoeba clings to your ship, use L or R to get rid of it.
Yeah, the amoebas are like jellyfish. This is the one with the fish. I like how he actually
Oh, you
says
mean
the controls this
stingrays,
time.
The stingrays. Okay.
It's an
Yeah.
ocean. When you play the
Well,
N64
F
version,
those
you'll get it.
things. Yeah, no, seriously, F these stingray things. Legit, this was the whole, like,
Notice
oh my
how
gosh,
we're in
I
a
was
space
getting
level,
frustrated.
but they didn't put you in first person mode?
Because they realized, yeah, you're going to need to
I don't know.
stuff, right?
I don't know if it was an oversight or if like they just forgot or if they were like literally didn't want to put you in that mode. Just so you could actually see what's going on around you. Or if they just kind of forgot to code it in to be like, oh yeah, we need to make sure to put the first person in.
Maybe. I like how they decided to go with a waltz for this theme.
This theme is way better than the level that they recreated for it in the N64, as far as music goes.
I'm gonna have to take a listen to it, or you could link me. I guess.
It's not.
Sure what
It's
I'm
not
looking
worth
for
listening
in the
to.
first place. Oh, okay.
So if you don't shoot these guys, they're less likely to go for you. But as you see, there's plenty of other stuff you need to shoot at. Otherwise, you can just fly through them. Or you can
clearly.
agitate them like you did and have them chasing you everywhere.
Yeah, because I was like, geez, these things are everywhere. What is this?
Yeah, that's why I leave them alone. But then there's these ships that you actually have to shoot, which causes you to shoot some dudes that you don't want to shoot.
So there's just a
Hold on,
bunch
I'm
of
gonna show you what
wildlife.
happens with this. Watch this. If you leave this guy alone, he circles once to give you a chance to get it, and then he comes back like guns blazing.
Yeah, that's okay. I didn't notice. Well, I didn't notice the first time because I was just shooting at everything. And then I realized it was not a good idea to shoot at everything.
Also, did you notice that the first big stingray got blown up? I've never
did.
seen that.
I
What
did
happened?
see it, but I don't know.
I don't know what
how it
happened.
Got blown up
I don't know either.
because you didn't shoot at it. Maybe it was one of the bad guys.
I have no idea. I could not tell you. I just noticed that. It's probably the first time I've ever seen it.
No, I didn't see that in my run either. That's what I'm saying. So imagine this, you know, this whole scenario going on where, legit, it's these guys here and they're like, yo, we have to fly to Venom, but in order to get there, we got to go through this. Oh, that guy's gonna hit you. Oh, I guess not. Look at you go! Holy moly!
There he is.
Oh no!
I thought I could leave him behind. Like,
He was on a mission.
yep.
More
Which just show you how crazy the little homing in the 3D world is in this game. It's actually like happening.
Oh right, the scenario. It's like, yeah, we gotta fly through to you know,
Oh,
Venom
no.
area. This guy.
I hate this boss.
Boy, let's be careful. Wow, you wasted 0 time, sir. You just said F it, just gonna blow him up.
Told you, I don't like this guy at all.
Yeah,
I'm not getting the hits.
Whole hand thing was getting a little obnoxious. Uh-oh. Alright. There it is. There it is. Mess him up. What? I could have sworn you just blew up that.
Yeah, and he
How
just
did
grew
he
it back.
respawn so
He
quickly?
does
How
that.
did
That's what he
respawn
does.
so quickly?
That's literally what he does.
Alright, there you go. Hopefully. What? Dude, it just came back.
Yeah, like I said, that first time you beat him, you got lucky.
No.
Like, you
way.
just glitched it.
That was all skill, bro.
You were like shooting the body and he was taking shots and I was like, oh, glitched. Lucky.
Okay, maybe. The game took mercy on my soul.
Pretty
It's
much.
Like, okay, we get it. We get it. You've been having a really hard time, bro. We're sorry. Yeah, this guy would be any speedrunner for this game, like their worst nightmare.
Ugh, freaking A. I
At least
needed
they're
that.
kind of giving you health pickups at the same time.
Yeah, I just
Oh,
wasted it
okay.
though.
I don't recall
You
that
did this.
happening.
You did this the second time.
Yeah, I don't recall that at all, but, you know. Wow, and he's got a freaking mace ball. Okay, no,
Ah!
seriously.
That last hit, I always hate that. I'm so bad at avoiding that last hit because I get so close when I'm killing him. I'm also out of bombs, if you haven't noticed.
No, it's fine. You usually are pretty good at holding on to them throughout like the entire game.
I get very desperate.
Against that guy, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. But I don't remember him pulling out a mace towards the end when I was I guess I just killed him like.
Yeah, you got him fast enough to where he didn't do it.
Okay, yeah, because I was about to say I don't remember that at all. How did you get 100%? There was stuff that you missed, bro. Get the heck out of here.
I think my theory is that there's stuff that you're not, like, they don't require you to hit, and it's not a part of the 100%. But if you hit it, it counts towards it. So really, there's a over 100%. So you can hit stuff that you aren't meant to hit and get, like, credit for it, and then you can, like, push yourself forward, if that makes sense. Or, like, make up for what you miss. That's my theory. I never actually looked into it, so I don't know.
Here it is. Venom, the final goal. Kind of froze up on it. There it is. Is everyone alright, Fox? You're on course to sneak into Venom's back door.
You ready?
I'm ready. Good luck.
I messed this up so bad last night. Oh wait, this isn't the part. Crap. I forgot. I did mess this up though last night.
Oh no, I didn't get to actually finish watching the VOD, so I'll probably have to see how badly you messed up on it.
I didn't die or anything, but the boss.
Messed up in which manner?
I didn't like go harder on the boss as far as I should have. I kept messing up my timing. Cause it's been such a long time since I actually fought him.
Yeah. Now this truck guy was not my friend. But even though he was not my friend, I would rather deal with 10 truck guys over Fantron. Fantron was just a big pain in the ass.
Really? I don't like the truck guy's first form. It bugs me. Because the way that the hit detection is...
Oh, I don't remember having a hard time with the first form.
No, you didn't.
Like,
You
absolutely destroyed me.
You did amazing on that one. I was very impressed. What I need are bombs, and I'm not gonna get them though.
Look, there's more blaster. There's one for you.
Took a hit for it though.
That's okay. You're good. Help me! So what's the deal? Sometimes enemies are blue and sometimes they're red. Is there like some kind of differentiation between them?
I have no clue.
Or is it just because they're...
Oh, like these? I think you're just seeing like, sometimes you're seeing their thrusters and sometimes you're not. As far as the other ones, the red ones seem to be a little bit stronger. Like the gold ones and everything. But it's so...
I know there's different...
It's so inconsistent. It's not like Metroid rules or anything because it's not something that's constantly displayed to you.
Nah, alright.
See, you can stage some shots sideways. You can take care of dudes as soon as they pop up. You don't have to be lined up with them when they get there.
I guess if you know where they're...
Well, I'm looking at the bottom of where they're coming from, and I'm just spreading out shots in general. There's no accuracy in this game, so you don't have to worry about a rating.
Yeah, that's something I like about this game. Otherwise, my ratings wouldn't be very high.
Yeah, on Tuesday I was actually talking about like if you had limited ammo in Star Fox. Oh my gosh.
Oh gosh, dude.
Like that one game I was watching you play where you only had a certain number of shots. I was like, what?
I was shooting off like a maniac the entire game. Like even when there wasn't stuff on screen, I was just continuously. That's why my hand started hurting so much. But you know, that happens.
Gotta get you that turbo controller.
Nah, man, I don't believe in turbo
No exploits.
Nah, I don't believe in that. You're gonna do it. You gotta do it right the first. Well, you gotta do it the way that it was intended to be done. You know. It's kind of like I know save states and whatnot exist, and there were some games like when I wasn't streaming like on Twitch, I would just use save states because I was like, I don't really care, you know, whatever. But when I was streaming on Twitch, I was like, okay, I gotta show the game a little more respect than this.
I did use save states in one particular reason on this game, and it just had to do with trying to get like some secret thing and us getting a reset for it. See, I messed up the timing. I always mess up the timing.
Holy moly.
There we go. Did it right that time. Ah, crap. The rings. Kidding. I didn't get my roll.
I do not remember that. Well, I remember it doing the rings, but I don't remember it firing out like that on you. Dude, oh man, I'm just realizing you're actually kind of low, sir. You may want to be very careful.
There we go.
Okay, there it goes. Now without its buddy, it's like, oh no.
The
Well,
eject.
it's time to go.
Like laters. I've always wondered what that thing was, and I would never, like, when I was a kid, I wouldn't correlate it to being the van that you see later. I was just like, I don't know what that was.
Well, I kind of put 2 and 2 together because the first time with Fantron, it was like, I'm just going away. And I was like, okay, and then we run into Fantron again. So when this thing died, at first you heard me, I thought it was Fantron, and then you were like, it's not Fantron. And I was like, oh, okay. But then when you blew it up, it was like something came out, and I was like, yeah, we're gonna see that thing again.
That would be actually cool if Fantron just, like, showed up outside of that thing.
Yeah, I think it would be. I think it would be actually really cool if they made it that each route it was just a different form of Fantron, because it was like this is the big, like, their big flagship kind of like heavy duty fighter type kind of thing.
Yeah, they're ace.
That would be, yeah, they're ace in the whole. Yeah, that would be really cool. Oh, close there, ain't. No, enough.
Yeah, right?
I remember this. Yeah, jeez, this is so freaking cool.
You're just like
man.
racing down the highway to this song. I love it.
Yeah, no, it's pretty hot. I'm not even gonna lie. But real talk, you know, it's funny because you do something like look at in retrospect. Ooh, there's bombs for you. In retrospect, think about what they did here. It's pretty much the same thing that's been going on throughout the entire rest of the game.
Ah, I forgot about that.
Except,
Stupid.
I didn't even remember that either. What's been going on throughout the entire rest of the game, you're just going from, you know, forward, but by doing something as simple as adding, you know, the bottom area and the top area, making it look like you're on a highway, it just makes it look so much more, I don't know, appealing, I guess. Or
Right, it adds a
more
level
urgent.
of speed to it, and there's also like a movement constraint. You're used to moving like everywhere to dodge. Now you're like, I have barely anywhere I can go.
Yeah, you're stuck. So it's cool. It's cool. Ooh.
Stupid mine.
Yeah, the Type B is definitely making this for you, though. These guys. Yeah, was not a fan.
You need to get closer.
Yeah, suck it.
Ah, a little too close.
I thought you had already blown that guy up. Or was that just another
there's
one?
4. It's 2 and 2, and I left the first 2 alone, so I kind of messed up.
Here's this guy. Oh man.
Damn it.
Jeez, oh my gosh, in that first instance you practically killed him. Like, what the actual F?
Gotta load up on your button smashing, yo.
Nah, man. That's not what that is. Oh.
I messed up there. I should have crossed. I thought he might not cross and like kind of trick me, but I was supposed to cross back over to the right.
Wow, look at him. He's already gone.
And then you continue on the highway. You don't get a victory music, no GG.
you don't. It's
You just
hey,
go
look,
straight
you're
into
in.
this. Which is funny when the fight lasts forever, like in some people's playthroughs, because then you're like, how long was that highway? And it just happens to be conveniently a door there.
It's been pretty long. So is there really a reason for you to like do all these like flips going?
I don't know,
upside down and
but
whatnot for
the
this,
tumbling like set me off as a kid. I thought it was the coolest thing.
I thought you might make it eventually. General Pepper has guided you well.
Oh, shit. I wasn't paying attention. I was looking at the next one. I wasn't looking at the one, like, coming next. That let go too soon.
However, you will not escape here alive. And it gets trippy again. Alright, here we go. Ching!
Don't you love that? The ching!
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Ah, crap. I split that. I didn't mean to split it. Taking a lot of hits there.
Uh-oh. We might have our first death. We might have it. So all of these, you know, blocks that he's throwing at you, it's legit. He's throwing a bunch of them. They're all behind you. And then
Yeah,
he's
and he
sucking
sucks them
all
back
of
up.
them
And you're like, oh. You're just in this, like, negative zone of space where he has control of all this stuff.
Pretty much.
Which, like I said, once you get to the N64 version, you'll see, like, they play a big trick on all the people who played old school Star Fox. They're like, oh, you think you know the weakness? Guess again. Crap, I messed up.
Oh, no.
I wasn't shooting when I was trying to get a bomb going.
He's reforming.
I was able to one-shot it the other night. Oh well.
That's alright. Wow, that first fight really
The second time, I think they're a little weaker.
Oh, okay, yeah, because I was about to say, bro, that thing just like auto died pretty much. No.
Saw that one coming.
Oh wow, yeah, that one's lasting a bit longer.
And I didn't shoot as much. I wasn't taking as many risks.
You're at the below halfway point. I think you're right to think that way.
There we go.
Alright. And round 2. Oh no! You think he's oh no! It's time to fly out of here, boys.
Right? Oh my goodness. Like no health left.
Yeah, your quarter health really equates to no health, right?
Dude.
Try talking to me where when I beat this guy, I had like a sliver of health left, and it was.
But that's the
yeah,
thing.
I did it!
With physical attacks like that aren't shots. That's why I hate obstacles, because if you get hit once and it throws you off course, then you get hit twice because you're stuck in the block. Then you get hit a third time because you're trying to exit the block, and then it's just nonsense after that.
Yeah, especially like if you take wing damage, bro. It's you forget it.
That's GG too.
Yeah, it's GG.
We're not doing 3 though. Or we're gonna try 3. I'm telling you right now. No GG on 3, but we're gonna give it our best effort.
Man. I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing like where what you do with it. 'Cause
How
like I said,
how far did you get? That's what I want to know.
I need to take a look at the map because you know what was funny? I beat Corneria like it was nothing. Like, and I remember when I first tried Route 2, I almost got game over on Corneria. You know, it was bad. And I think I made it to stage 2 on my first run of Route 2, and it was bad. But on Route 3, I tried it once.
You
if
beat
I'm
the
not
big
mistaken.
bird thing, right? The big dinosaur? I know you fought it. I don't know if you beat it.
No, I didn't beat the big dinosaur. The big dinosaur kicked the crap out of me. That's where I actually got game over. And
Okay.
after that, I was like, it was kind of close to ending. Yeah, it was beyond the point where I had to end, and I was like, okay, we're done.
So I die a lot on that dude, but if I get past him, I normally get 1 level past you on Route 3 before I lose everything.
Okay. All right. Good to know.
And then of
Wow,
course,
average
we gotta
score is
watch these
98.
bosses though. We can never let that go away. Hey GA, how are you doing?
Hey, how you doing? Wait, hold on.
Corneria, Pepper speaking. Congratulations on a job well
Thanks,
done.
General Pep.
Roger. I'm heading back to Corneria.
I just keep thinking of what Wiz said, like, here, speak through this wet towel. GA, we're doing a guest stream with Maestro as he reminisces about Star Fox as I reminisce and play through it as well. We just finished Route 2 of 3, and now we're gonna go after 3, but no promises on performance. How are you doing? And how was class today?
What are you talking about? If you were here just a bit earlier, you would have heard Q was saying things like, "Yo, Route 3 ain't nothing, man. I'm about to show you how it's done." I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
That is not what I said. Hi again, GA. I'm not gonna repeat anything I said to you. How are you doing today? No classes?
No
Sweet.
classes. That is sweet.
There's the guy for this one. Such a bro. I don't even understand him.
Professor Hanger.
Like, his whole thing was being fast. Which is why he, like, was bye-bye and he ran away, but then he came back. Like, he could have left.
He could have, but I guess at some point he must have been like, wait, I think we could take this guy.
Yeah, and
Plasma
then this
Hydra.
thing, I just don't like it.
That's the best boss in the game, right?
I hate that boss.
So does this have a different name from the one that you fight on the highway? Because that's Metal Smasher. Yeah, because it's just legit crushing.
Oh yeah, they have different names.
Because on Route 1, it's Fantron for both of them. You know?
Right. Because that's still Fantron. This is something
it's
that
still
was
Fantron or
inside.
something. It's just the thing that escaped from the Metal Crusher.
Galactic Rider. I love that
That's
name.
actually a really freaking cool name.
Right. It's just some dude in a minivan though.
Yeah.
Letting off his kids and the
Yeah,
bicycles.
his buddy's like, hey guys, you know, why don't you take care of this guy?
He's a top of the line graphics, G.A.
Oh,
Respect.
gosh,
Respect.
this
How
is
dare
it.
you?
It doesn't get better than this, man.
Andros?
Dot.
Maybe.
Telekinesis.
Alright, so we don't need to watch the credits again. Wait, no, there's one part of the credits we need to see. There's always one part of the credits we never skip.
Nintendo.
The man that we can blame all of this on.
What? No way.
Not this guy.
You can't blame our boy.
Where is he at?
Did you see the link that I
Miyamoto!
Yes.
Alright, now we're done with that. So, for those who don't know what we're talking about, this was one of the original box covers for Star Fox when they were selling it. And then someone replied with this gif of puppets, and I was like, what the hell are these puppets? Because that looks really, really crazy. Also remind me when I set up the emulator again, I have to redo your Discord video part. And I asked, like, yo, where did these puppets come from? And apparently, they come from some video.
He's the best intergalactic pilot ever to fly the stars. Fox McCloud. His job, take on the evil Andros. He's an ace in the R-Wing.
Later, GA.
Monster in the Landmaster. A genius in the Gyro Wing. He's
Gyro Wing? What?
McCloud. It's his sky, you're just flying in it.
Fox.
I actually have to go to the stream to hear.
Nice one, Foxy.
Nice one, Foxy.
Be the hero in Star Fox Zero, also including Star Fox Guard, only on Wii U. Game rated everyone 10 and up.
Man, these new
What is with these pup? Who decided this was the marketing?
doesn't stand a chance against us.
I guess this is. I guess this is making fun of the original stuff
My turn.
and the way they were so like
The
static.
puppets are legit.
Nice.
The puppets are legit. What you call it? They're Jim Henson. They're Jim
But like
Henson
the
puppets.
Walker, when you see the Walker, that was from Star Fox 2 back in the day. Hey OP, how are you doing, my man? We're just reminiscing over here. Was that Slippy that messed up there?
Titania's a red planet wasteland.
You can't trust a place filled with sandworms and robot spiders.
Ed, don't sweat it.
That
Pep
was
will
their
take him out with
marketing
the
then.
Landmaster.
Let's go for it.
I do love how throughout the entire series they've always kept that same radio noise.
He's on fire.
That joint.
What's gotten into it?
Joint.
No. There's a spider in the tank.
I put it in there.
Falco. Falco's such a bro in these. What the hell? It's like not the edgy Falco I'm used to.
McCloud here. We need
Falco's,
your help.
he's
The
a
Lylat
little
system
out
is
there
under
in
attack.
these,
Show
and I
them
mean,
the
like I said, when I was
It's
watching
fast and powerful
like
and
I
doubles
play
as the walker.
the other one,
The rest
that
with
was the
nimble enough to
GameCube
get the
one,
job
right?
done.
Pretty sure that, yeah, that was the
Overpower
GameCube
enemies with the
one.
Landmaster.
Falco did not seem nearly as like
Outsmart and
snarky
outstealth in the gyro
or
wing.
jerkish.
I need to get Star Fox Zero now. Holy crap.
Galaxy needs you.
I didn't realize how much of a tribute it was. That was some good music though, OP, back in those days.
Fox McCloud here.
Plus that little 3D style over Donkey Kong Country too, definitely.
Yeah, that's something that I always found interesting because, you know, Donkey
Oh
Kong
hey,
Country
one of those
2
bosses was from this game. They had your little two-headed dinosaur dude.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Okay, now I know where the puppets come from though. That was the point of this.
The galaxy.
Yeah.
But the last thing we'll do together before we go make a Route 3 attempt is look at the beautiful tribute that someone made to Star Fox, which for either people who have never seen this or who are old fans of the old game, what we're about to see is pretty beautiful. Zero's got a weird control scheme though. Oh yeah, there's nothing but motion controls. That's what I heard about it, and I was like, I don't like that. That reminds me of when I had the Metal Slug compilation anthology on the Wii, and like the only way to throw grenades was to shake the Wiimote. I was like, is there really no other way we could have done this?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm gonna stay quiet though while you play this. I kind of want to see it.
I mean, now that you played through the Super Nintendo one, like, this is beautiful. Like, every bit of this is made out of what was in the original.
Good luck. Internal power to enable. External power to disable. Primary
I mean, while this is going through the weapons part, it's a little slow. I mean, you just saw the intro, you're watching on streams, there's a little delay. What did you feel about that? Having seen the intro actually in the Super Nintendo?
Looking at it, I will say that it's actually a lot more terrifying to see the fully 3D version. And like I said, I remember you had sent me this before, and I had seen it. I just didn't actually give you my opinion on it. But yeah, like I guess because when you're looking at it on the SNES, there's only so much like graphical capability that it has, and so since they're trying to have so many polygons on the screen at once, everything's kind of slowed down.
And now we're at the scramble scene.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now as well.
Topo was. Hey TK, how you doing?
Report in. All systems
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah, with that thing,
Okay,
especially
guys,
because they're all
let's
like the
rock and roll. Surprise attack coming from above.
Maestro, you cannot be heard at all right now.
Let's take care of these guys first. Aim for the 6 energy tower. Do a barrel roll. You're becoming more like your father. What's taking you so long, boss? I'm on my way. Hurry up or you're close. Yeah! Use the boost to get through. You okay? It's quiet. Too quiet.
TK, I'll explain in a moment.
Split up and take it to them. I'll take care of everything below. Enemy fighters coming at you, Fox.
These guys are tough.
Enemy group behind you. Keep an eye on your shield gauge. Shoot them down. We're being marked. Hold still and let me shoot you. Here is dog. Shoot the core.
Ah, I love this. And then they end the video with like a little rock version of the old credits from back in the day. So for those that didn't know, what that was a tribute to Star Fox, which uses the old intro sequence, which we've been playing through and you've seen, and the old Scramble sequence uses lines from the N64 since the N64 was fully voiced, and the graphics are just a custom job by the fans. And whenever I look at that, I can't help but think, why didn't we get a Star Fox game like this? Because every time they say all systems go, and then they take off in the R-Wings, like my heart just goes a flutter seeing them burst off in Corneria, because it's such a tribute to like the old school transference of what the game was trying to do. Just like what Maestro was saying, it's like it's more terrifying in the new graphics because you actually get an idea of what's going on with the invasion. But back then, that was all the graphics you had. So there was a big difference between saying, you know, let's just tell the player what it is in text. Let's put an inclusive comic. Let's just use what graphics we have to kind of say something similar, and they'll just have to accept, okay, that's what that means. Or let's use everything we have to make the scene say exactly what the scene needs to say and make it as timeless as possible. And I feel like some games keep that up, and that's why when we look at stuff that has older graphics, it doesn't even matter. You still get the same idea. And by seeing a new translation with newer graphics, if you didn't understand then, it's like, oh, that was the feeling that someone would have got like when they saw that for the first time. And I always thought that was pretty dope. That being said, gonna take a quick break. When we come back, we will take our run at Route 3. We have about an hour left. We will see how far we get. No promises on that, though. Alright, everyone take care. Enjoy the music. I will be right back. And if you want to know more about my guest commentator, Maestro, say hi, Maestro. Maestro's not saying hi.
Yeah, no.
Oh, there he is.
I'm here. Hey, how's it going? Yeah,
So if you want to know more about our guest commentator, Maestro, hit !guest, and I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. We'll just wait for Maestro to get back, and I have to reestablish his connective call so that he can see the game live and actually give the live commentary that he's been doing all the time. Couple quick things about Maestro and why he's a cool dude. One, whenever he streams, like the days that he streams on are always the days that I don't stream. At least right now with my current schedule. We'll see if he fixes to match my schedule as well next time. I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose. It just kind of worked out that way. And two, before I start talking about Star Fox and some other stuff in Kirby, Maestro didn't think Q was a real gamer or something like that. He didn't actually mean what he said, but he said it, and I never let it go. Maestro's still not back, or if he's back, he hasn't said anything to me yet. So go ahead and start the game up, but we won't actually start until he's back here. We might play a training mission or something. I'll just talk about why the training thing was kind of important. The training loop, as I like to call it. Also, if you're interested in playing nice little... Whoa, what happened? AJ killed TK. TK, you're okay. AJ's just messing around with you. Run back and through a dungeon and get to the boss. I can understand why you might want to just try it again at some other time. So, while we're waiting on Maestro, what I can do is take you through the training missions. Yeah, you weren't around when it used to be a regular occurrence, TK. You missed out. So the training thing is really cool, because if you didn't understand your controls enough with the top there, you just get to start here. And then you get Pepper, I think it's Pepper, or maybe it's someone else in sunglasses, like, talking to you about how to do stuff. And then the people talking to you are your teammates, and they give you tips about how to play the game. You get a little attack target to hit and see how long you can keep it going. You get to a point where you'll be carrying 3 of those. They give you little numbers to show what kind of streak you've gone through with these rings. And they alternate the colors so you can easily learn how to pilot. Fun fact, the fact that this game had default inverted controls was the reason why I invert a lot of my first-person shooters, because I really got used to the down is up and up is down kind of deal. I missed one. And I passed the test, so he told me to fight the real enemy, but I'm not ready yet. So you can continue doing training as long as you want. Or you can try to stick this sick formation. I don't know what the point of staying in formation is. I don't know if it's actually possible. I do know it's kind of cool looking. Like actually trying to stay with these guys. And then at some point they roll. Yeah, like that. There we go. I always thought this was really cool. Hey, Nicky, how you doing? AKA Nicky Slick Ricky, AKA Nick Knack, AKA Knack Ramens, AKA Snack Grabbins, AKA Nice Guy Nick, AKA Nicky Glasses, AKA Nicky the Books, AKA Nicky Nickname. How you doing, Nick? I was just thinking about you the other day, St. Nicholas. And your holiday coming up soon. It's always once a year, right? Same time every year. It's never too many. So if you actually shoot these enough, they blow up, which kind of gives you an idea towards what you should be doing in the game. It's a nice little training thing. That being said, I believe Maestro is back. Is that correct?
That would be correct.
Oh, because I could hear you typing. So notice in the training mission, the robots are here.
Okay, so I guess those are Corneria robots?
Yeah, so they're Corneria robots, which means shooting them should be a bad thing?
I guess, but at the same time, then, like, why are they all up in your face?
They're not in your face, they're just carrying stuff around. They're just in the way, they never attack you.
Could've fooled me.
Exactly. Alright, but we're done. And Pepper with his sunglasses is telling me to go fight the real enemy. Which is funny, because I guess Pepper used to be cool in training. Also, you'll notice in the training mission that little baby fox talks to you. Who is the little baby fox? I have no idea.
Oh, I wasn't even paying attention to that.
Don't even worry about it. Alright, everyone ready for Route 3? Rub your hands together.
Here it is.
So, we got through Route 1 and Route 2 with no deaths. I encourage everyone to try no death runs on Star Fox. That's what makes a real game out of you. Oh, while you were gone, we were discussing how you didn't consider me a actual gamer for a long time.
Wait, I didn't?
I don't know. What was the story? What's the deal with that?
Wait, what did I say that made you think that?
I don't know. I said something about retro games. You got super excited. And you're like, oh, I never knew you were actually a gamer. And I'm like, wait a minute, what?
Okay. I think I maybe said something along those lines, but it was probably that I had misworded it, I want to say. Because if anything, what I meant by that was like, because anytime I saw you streaming, I always saw you streaming newer stuff, you know. And when I say newer stuff, I mean like stuff from, I guess, I don't know, 2010 and above, which I guess I would count that as like newer stuff. But when you started seeing you play up like some retro stuff, or at least in my idea of retro stuff is like stuff from the 80s, 90s. I was like, oh wow, I didn't know you were like a gamer in that regard, but I guess that's kind of what it was, but that's not what I meant. Okay, you know what I mean?
What do you say, guys? Do we forgive Maestro for telling Q that he wasn't actually a real gamer this whole time that he knew him for like a year and a half? Do we let it ride, or do we just hold against him forever?
See, you can't ask an audience something like that, because they're immediately going to take your side, alright?
Hey Zomps, how are you doing?
Right?
Hank, good to see you, my man. I love to dress like you. One day, I have to get a new sport coat. I actually went on a site that your wife suggested. The stuff that they got is on sale. I just need to get size right, because I'm looking at the sleeve size they got for the chest size they got, and from what I'm being able to tell, my sleeve size is about 10 inches too long for what they call a large. I've always had a good reach. I didn't know it was that good, you know what I mean? So I might need something a little bit more custom. And yeah, stair facts. We already beat Route 1 and 2, no deaths. Route 3, can't make any promises, but we're going to give it our all as we go through.
Okay, gamer, you know, I'll keep that in mind.
Forgive but never forget, absolutely. Indeed, Hank, indeed. TK, he didn't ban you, he just purged you, which is like a 1 second timeout. So it literally amounts to nothing. All it does is purge everything and kills you. We used to kill people all the time, TK. We've calmed down because the chat has calmed down. But always remember, we have that as an option in the pocket just to bump you off every once in a while. Alright, everyone hands together. Let's do Route 3.
Alright, this is it. This is the one.
Alright, you ready for your... Oh, is your private video feed still up now?
Yeah, I'm still watching.
Okay, so you're ready for your good-ass voice acting?
I'm ready for it, man.
Alright, everyone give your ears and attention to our guest star, MaestroGuy. That's MaestroGuy, aka Galaxy, aka MaestroBot, aka MaestroButt, aka DJ Giggle Fritz. Yeah, PRX says bruh, that one. Whatever. And if you want to know more about our guest at !guest, and go over to his channel and check him out sometime while he struggles through this game. And we're about to get some struggle on ourselves. Let's do it. Enjoy your lyric and your drive, Hank. Be safe.
Here it is. Area base. You've chosen course 3. A good choice to take Venom by surprise. Good luck.
Look at Fox's face right now. Just how sly he looks with that little smirk.
It's legit a 2-pixel going up.
It's enough.
Pixels were not going up. It would have just been a standard like I'm putting my thumb over where those 2 pixels are. Good luck. And he's legit he looks like the most stoic, serious expression, but those 2 little pixels.
You know, after watching the 3D tribute, I just realized there are shadows or reflections under the R-Wings in this section. I think I had forgotten that, because they had like full-scale reflections in the new one, or in the tribute. So I was like, huh, that's cool. And here we go, the scariest part of Route 3.
Oof, seeing that red sky, you already know you're in trouble, man.
And as a kid, I never knew why this appeared. I was just like, I thought it was on a randomizer or something. Every time you reset the game, I thought it was just something new. You gonna commentate? You're just gonna sing the whole time?
No, I might just sing.
No, it's all good.
We'll talk though. It's a cool theme. Like I had said before. Ooh, that one's at an angle.
So are the enemies, if you notice.
I have not been paying much attention to the enemies. Okay, those guys. Yeah. So should you be shooting them then?
Nah. I don't know. This is like the 90s, so there's no like repercussions for it. Didn't make it. I should remember that from Tuesday. Whatever. Worth it.
It's alright. Oh, did you actually try Route 3 on Tuesday?
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh. So,
missed. Dodged a little too much dodge.
So someone had mentioned something that I actually wanted to address, and it kind of pertains to this game, but more so than anything, I was oh gosh, I panicked for you there. What you call it? It pertained to like Donkey Kong Country and Donkey Kong Country 2 and whatnot, and how it was kind of 3D but not actually like 3D.
Yeah, they had the rotoscoping over the 2D backgrounds.
Yeah, so like the.
Did you know Miyamoto didn't like that?
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
His take on that, like he hated that game. His take on it was that, oh, I guess people will still play a horrible game as long as the characters are good.
Wow.
And people were like,
really?
what? Yeah, Miyamoto hated that they did that with his characters. He was like,
I thought
no.
that Donkey Kong Country and 2 were phenomenal.
Yeah, exactly. They're legends. Miyamoto hated them at the time. He was like, this is not how it should be.
Why?
Right?
Why, dude?
Exactly. Just let that sit for you. Miyamoto did not like that. It was a wave of the future. It was a show off of the technology, and Miyamoto was like, he tried to stop it from shipping. He was like, nah, I don't sign on this. How did I not hit this dude?
I don't know. That seems so out there to me though, because like legit. Okay, so like what I was originally going to say was that like Donkey Kong Country and Country 2 were pretty much like they were 3D in a way, because like they were side-scrolling still, but the character models and the graphics, everything looked like it was supposed to be 3D. And when I saw it, I was like, wow, this is like really freaking amazing crap. Well, left or right on this? I guess.
Then you go with what you need. I don't need more bombs, so.
Yeah, might as well fill up that. But yeah, no, seriously. And then when I look at a game like this, that this is actually like, this is 3D, you know?
The space is in 3 dimensions.
Yeah.
Whereas the graphics are built out of 2D polygons. There's a way to get blasters to show up here. I don't know what it is. I've done it by accident. Ah, almost made it. Almost.
Okay. So here's the guy. I know you told me something about like, hey, you should do this, and I did it the right way, like just by
instinct, yeah.
Yeah, instinct. And you were like, oh, this is what you should do. I'm glad you did it that way, because otherwise we would have got screwed over. Alright, so real talk, I was trying to figure out what's like, I thought those things were going to like legit launch at me.
They do.
Do they launch at you? Oh, they do.
Yeah.
I was
They'll
like,
fly at you. They like come back. They boomerang.
ah, okay. Because yeah, I was a little confused. Like, what am I looking at?
Yeah, like right now, it's getting closer to me. That was the noise. That turn. That was it coming closer.
Oh, that it was gonna be coming close to.
Yeah.
And missile time. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, so what is it? Were people just attacking
the bottoms take more
bottoms?
damage on the life bar, so people see that, and they keep attacking the bottom. But then the hats drop, and then it replenishes the life and rebuilds those turrets. So then they're like, oh, I just have to beat the clock before they all go back down. It's like, no, just destroy the hat. I hope it was fun, AJ. I need to try it out myself.
Oh, Ready Player One? Yeah, I saw it on Tuesday. Tuesday I saw it, yes. The day that you wanted me to come watch you, but I was celebrating brother's birthday, so yeah, that
No, that's good. I haven't seen a movie since I got Iggy, so it's all good. Alright.
Yeah, no,
ready for the beginning of the end?
Oh gosh, asteroids. Alright.
This is where everything starts falling apart.
This is where stuff starts falling apart, but again, Fortuna is what like absolutely destroyed me.
Fortuna's like 50-50 for me.
Use the L or R button to escape the tractor beam of
and then
battle. ship.
Sector X.
You can do it, Fox.
Yeah, Sector X is like 10% of the time I'll make it.
But you already went through Sector X, right?
No.
Oh, was that Sector Z?
Yeah. Or maybe that was X and the other one is Z. I don't know. Either way, I don't like any of the sectors.
Yeah, no, that's stupidly surprising though that Miyamoto didn't like Donkey Kong. I thought Donkey Kong was like
The Donkey Kong countries. He liked the characters.
The Donkey Kong countries. I thought those were phenomenal games.
But remember, just like we talked about with Star Fox, his focus was on these characters that would be memorable, these animal characters. He didn't think the game was good. He didn't like the graphic style. He didn't like the gameplay. He was like, "Yo, it's all about the characters." And when this game was when the game was successful, he was like, "Oh, it must have been because of my Donkey Kong characters, obviously."
Oh gosh, I don't know. That sounds a little conceited. Just saying.
No, that's for real.
I mean, do the characters add a lot to it? Of course they do, but at the same time, it's a lot of the gameplay is what is also a very big contributing factor to all of that. Oh,
But the other portion is the other argument is just like the whole Lilat Wars thing in the EU and the PAL versions is without the name Donkey Kong and people actually knowing it from arcades and home consoles becoming a new thing, would they have known to go buy that and been like, "Oh, Donkey Kong, I know that. Let me go try that out."
That's a very fair point, because there are games that are very good, but because they're not big name or they don't have something behind them, they don't get the time of day.
Right, it's kind of like the Super Mario 2. If it was just Doki Doki Panic in the US, would people have played it?
Yeah, I mean, probably not.
With some characters they didn't even know?
It's one of my favorite games on the NES library, and yeah, it's true. It's very true.
Not great, not now.
Where do the moon guys start popping up?
Ugh.
Oh gosh.
Freaking I forgot. You have to be in the opposite of where you shoot from. I needed that.
You have full bombs.
No, I needed that health.
Oh, the health.
And there's these guys.
There he is. Aha. If you shoot those guys, does anything happen? Or
I don't
are they
know.
just, like, moving towards you?
I never try it. And don't take risk at this.
This stage of the game, probably not a good idea. Oh no. Yeah, they actually are moving towards you.
Yeah, all the time. You noticed it pretty quickly too. I was like, oh, I wonder if he's gonna pay attention and see that.
Yeah, no, I was looking for it because I was like, are these guys moving to... Okay, this guy.
Blade shield, dude.
Let me tell you,
I'm doing all right, Ridley. How you doing? Welcome in.
Hey, how's it going? I was outrageously surprised I survived this thing.
If you didn't have bombs and Type B, you would have been screwed at this because you didn't know what the weak point was.
No, I didn't, and I kind of still don't.
It's these blue things. See them? You were just shooting randomly, and you just happened to hit them.
I was shooting at anything I saw glowing. So, like, you see when you hit the red-orangish area, it starts glowing. I assumed that was what needed to be shot at.
And the other thing is, if you didn't have Type B, your shots bounce off the shield, and they would hit you like crazy. So you would have been dead like
How do you beat
ever.
this thing then if you don't have?
If you don't have Type B, you don't shoot at the shield. You only shoot at the weak points. And I've done that.
Okay.
It's not fun. Can't recommend it.
No, that does not sound like something I'd like to do.
And then he hits this last hit at you, tries to shoot this thing at you. Which you did get hit by, but you had enough health to survive, just barely.
I was stupidly surprised that I actually lived, and I was like, what?
Indeed, AJ, they do. Crossover for real. And I have not, Ridley, though I'd like to one day. I'd like to play the original fan version before I play the official one, you know what I'm saying? Though? Just like I'd like to play AM2R before I play Nintendo's official, you know, Metroid 2 remake, Samus Returns.
Wait, AM2R?
another Metroid 2 remake fan made. When they were gonna release their game, they shut it down. But if you were an opportunistic person, you got yourself a ROM of it before, you know, it went offline. All right, ready for everything to really fall apart now?
This is it, man. This is where it hits the fan. If you make it through this, hey, kudos to you, sir.
It's always a crapshoot, man. I hate this level. I love the music. I love the colors. I hate this level.
It looks like Earth, kind of, maybe.
Andros has taken control of the huge creatures who live on Fortuna. Take care, Fox.
Yeah, Pepper, thanks. Take care.
Yeah, he doesn't tell you anything about like what to do here. Just avoid stuff.
Ridley, you been alright, my man?
For some reason, when I hear the music in this stage, it makes me think of another game. It makes me think of a Sonic game. That's what it makes me think of.
Exactly. Notice the color scheme to go along with it, though?
Yeah, really?
No, I don't think it was unintentional.
Wait, you don't think it was unintentional?
No.
So they legit were like, yeah, let's do our best.
I mean, we have no idea, but
We don't.
it
but
could.
it's nice
It just feels so. It feels so Sonic.
Like, it's Green Hill
There's
Zone.
flowers. There's little Dragon Hill dudes with tail guns. So notice the dragonflies play the same rules as the fish. They're red when they attack you. They're blue if they get backed off. It's hard to see because they're small. Like, their bodies are small. But that's, like, exactly what is going on there.
Okay. I couldn't. Jeez, there's so much crap flying at you.
Yep. Ah, messed that up. I hate those things. They take so many shots, even type B shots.
Oh gosh, I remember I flew into a plant that like grew in my face.
I do not like
Alright,
this part at all.
This is it, man. This was my vein. If you can make it through this, man, hey, again, kudos to you, man. Dang Green Hill Zone, you're so everywhere. You even got into Star Fox. Alright, these bird guys.
Alright, here we go. Oh, not yet.
Oh, wait, no, not yet. Okay. Now is where it starts hitting the fan. These crappers.
Yep.
What exactly is... Oh, it's a shield. Ooh, I am surprised you did not get hit, sir. Oh, man, you did not waste any time.
Nope. That's why you're saving them, so you can use them when you need them.
Oh, gosh.
Now this is a trap, like super trap here.
What's the trap?
He's shooting like right behind it.
Oh, gosh. That's... That's pretty bad. You lost your friend.
I feel like because these levels are so heavy, the tracking and like hit detection is like way different. Because there's so much going on in these levels, there's like an actual natural lag in the game.
Yeah, that seems about right. Okay, so wait, yeah, I did make it past those things. Because I made it over here. That's
You
right,
died
I
a
made it
couple
to the
times there,
boss.
but you did make it here. I came back like after an hour, like after I took Iggy out, and you were on this level still, but you had made it farther. So I was like, oh, okay, he's making progress. I'm glad you've been good, Relay. Excuse me not looking at the screen for a second. Nope.
It's okay. It's not like you needed more type B. It's like you're all good. Jeez. All the flowers. Okay, I think you're in the clear.
Alright, you ready? Here we go.
What the F it was I'm supposed to do against this thing. I legit, by the time I made it to it, I was only...
Shit, wrong side. I forgot. It's always left. It's always left. Always start left.
Okay. Seriously? I imagine you have to blow up all of those eggs because otherwise they all come out.
You don't have to.
Okay. Okay, this is looking a lot. Oh gosh, this is looking a lot easier than when I was trying to fight this thing.
I can't believe they brought this guy back for Zero, though. I'm really happy that they did. It makes me want to go play Zero.
Oh gosh. Wow, I am shocked, sir.
Me too.
Kudos to you. There you go.
Not a lot of breathing room at all, Ridley, which is why in the first levels of the first few routes, they kind of teach you, like, hey, you can't always hug the walls. Like, somebody I know who I've seen play this game. And, by the time you get to these type of levels where everything's closed in, it's like, if you're trying to do it, you're gonna get messed up really quickly. Especially if you're playing on the widescreen like I am, because the stretch mode makes that impossible with the hit detection. Yeah, I know, Ridley. I think it was because it was so good. I mean, we often see that in the gun industry where, for instance, Ruger, they didn't change their Mark III pistol for 10 or 15 years, even though everyone said, like, yo, it sucks. And, like, there was this whole aftermarket thing to make it better. Like, for so many years, for decades, they didn't change the design of this thing and how it was taken apart, right? Smith & Wesson drops one pistol that kind of copies it and makes it better, and Ruger's like, holy shit, we need to make a Mark IV. I think with the case of Nintendo, with another Metroid 2 remake, seeing that demand and seeing that fan popularity and seeing other people do it better was absolutely their motivation to say, okay, let's get off our butts and do this. Kind of the same thing where it's a little bit embarrassing for Bethesda with Fallout New Vegas kind of outshining Fallout 4 in terms of ratings and who's playing it these days, you know, on Steam and everything. It's kind of weird, right? But it's really cool. Alright, Sector Z. If any of you out there are praying people, this is the time where we need a prayer.
Oh gosh, alright, good luck on this one, man.
And for all of you that saw Ready Player One, did you guys read the book before you watched the movie? Or you just watched the movie? Just curious.
Okay. So in my case scenario, I did not read the book, but I heard enough about the book to know that Hollywood just glammed the F out of it. Sector Z! Your team is doing well, Fox. I hope you're taking good care of my R-Wings. Go for Macbeth.
I like how this is a hint, like, yo, your R-Wing's gonna get messed up. How different was it, OWAS? And then you start seeing these cruisers for the first time, which are actually a hint about an enemy that's coming. But if we do make it to him, I can't spoil it for you. If we make it to him. It's not easy to do.
I'm kind of almost not wanting to see this because I don't want to spoil it for myself, but at the same time, I want to see how.
Ah, I needed that. I needed that bomb.
Yeah, those bombs, man.
I forgot I used a bunch of them.
Wow, where are all those missiles coming from, bro?
That thing blew up because I didn't shoot it.
Ah, okay.
There's your little bloody.
Yeah, little guys hanging around there. Okay, see, this is unfair. At least in the case of the other ones, it was like you can see the full... I guess they did that to kill some of the polygon count, because otherwise having all of this at the same time would have been, like, really bad. Ooh. Oh, gosh. Oh my gosh.
See what I'm saying? You hit one, you hit them all.
Dude, I'm here in my seat, like, flinching for you. Oh, they gave you a lot of health, though. You're good. You're good. But, yeah, Ready Player One, it wasn't a bad movie, but again, like, I had heard enough about the book where I was like, oh, so Hollywood just kind of glammed it up.
Hold on, Maestro.
Okay.
I need focus.
Oh, you need concentration. Okay.
Alright, go ahead.
Okay. Are you sure you're not out of a really, like, bad part yet?
No, actually, you know what? You know what? Be quiet.
I was going to say, imagine it's going to get really bad from here. What? Oh my gosh, what the flip is that?
I don't know, but I hate it. I hate this game. I hate this level with a passion. Like, so much. Because then you do that, and you're like, oh, I'm in the clear, and then this happens. Ugh.
Oh my gosh, what the
I don't even know where to
actual
do.
heck was that?
I know, like, I hate this. And then you know what happens right here. You get the checkpoint, and you immediately come into a damage zone. Hey, Game Life Game, it happened. Good jinx, bro. Good jinx.
Wow, while you're transferring out of... Oh, gosh. Dude, how are you supposed to...
I know, it was a
No
horrible
freaking
checkpoint.
way.
It was a
No
horrible checkpoint.
freaking way. Oh my gosh.
I just
No
look back at it and I think about like 80s design in games and like what they did with this level, and I'm like, yep, this was some of that 80s design coming back. Or they're like, oh, it's hard, it's fun because it's horrible. It's unfair. Like there was no difference between.
What are you supposed to do there? Like right freaking there. What are you supposed to do?
Remember, back then there was no difference between unfair and challenge. The challenge, the unfairness was the game challenge.
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness, dude! I'm like in my seat going left and right for you. I'm
Yeah,
just like,
it's.
I don't even know what you're supposed to do.
I really don't know. Like once, if you don't do it the first time, the momentum is kind of gone.
Yeah.
And it
you
kind of
don't even have
sucks.
time to be in it. Oh,
Because then you like,
right as soon as
yeah,
you
the
start,
one
there's
flies
like
up.
no way to-
That's why I'm like, I don't know why the checkpoint was placed there. I don't know whose decision this was.
Yeah,
I don't know who
someone
thought it was a
needs
good
to be
idea.
children.
Like, was this still a kid's game at this point? Who knows?
Nah, this was someone who was about to get fired from Nintendo, or maybe their wife left them and they were angry at. Oh gosh. Oh, wife. Oh,
Ah, missed it.
oh. This was
Oh,
someone
great.
who was like, oh, okay, wow, you made it.
Shh, barely. I got nothing to show for it now, too. Plus, you still have to make it through this. This is where I died the first time on Tuesday. Was trying to make it through this number here. Ah! So hear that last little. Like if I hit my shin really hard, that's the noise I hear in my head. You have to do this number.
Oh man, I am not looking forward to this, sir.
Nah, I got no health.
Oh gosh, dude, me watching you play this really makes
Oh,
me
what the hell?
lose- Oh, goodness.
Are you kidding me?
Really makes me lose my faith in wanting to play this game.
Route 3 is no joke.
No, I can see that.
Oh, no, 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 no. I timed it wrong. Trying to time things from a distance, it's never a good idea, but I forget because I get like antsy about it, you know? Luckily, this is a boss we fought before. Unluckily, there's an extra part to it.
And you don't have time to be.
There's some extra stuff to it, though. Like this guy is shooting at you.
Oh my gosh. That way.
My goodness. How are you doing, Game Life Game? AKA Big Joe. Enjoy your chill and your lurk, Ridley. I know I will want to chill after this myself.
Yeah, like I said, I'm getting stressed here for you, bro. Like this is brutal.
But yeah, it was. How different was the book from the movie, knowing it yourself?
So Slippy is still in perfect shape. No, it's Falco who's effed up, right? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
He recovered a little bit. He hit one of those yellow rings.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't blame you, Game Life Game. That was pretty rough. Yeah, I lost 3 of my lives. And now we have to go do this with like single shot. This is impossible.
Well,
I've done this with double, actually. You get a double in this because I've had to continue. Oh no, this is Macbeth, not Venom. Alright, so Macbeth is actually really fun. And really, I love the music. Not just this music, but pay attention if we make it to the boss, the transition.
The planet Macbeth. The hollow interior of Macbeth is ideal for a base. Prevent Andros from building here. Good luck.
Good luck.
This whole game is just some fight over real estate.
It pretty much is. That's what I'm realizing.
But listen to the music here.
Alright, I'll give it a listen. Okay, real talk. There's like nowhere for you to go.
Thanks for the host, Sent. I always feel like those rocks are gonna fall on you, too.
Yeah.
without Type B, like destroying these dudes is a little slower too, so you're having to put yourself more at risk. Notice that there's a ceiling that we're underground, and you realize we're underground.
I was about to say that. Wow, because the planet is hollow. There's legit stuff on both the ceiling and the floor.
Welcome to Star Fox Route 3. And I can't.
You look like you're handling yourself pretty well.
I'm playing conservatively because I don't have any power.
Sounds pretty cool. Wow.
Oh no 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 no! Ah!
Oh, gosh.
I needed that.
I'm feeling your pain now, man. I'm feeling it. What the heck?
There's craters and stuff, or not craters, like, but eruptions
Okay, yes, I see.
they're going through.
Is that a trap? Is that a trap?
Yep.
It looks like a trap.
They're always traps. The only one that's not a trap is in the Route 1. Because they just kind of give it to you on your way out of the ship. In case you hit the stuff because you're not used to flying through enclosed spaces.
I'm noticing how much Route 1 is like a beginner type kind of, like it's like an introductory type kind of thing in here.
Right. Which is why I loved it, because it wasn't just about like changing the game difficulty, it was designing whole new levels. Like saying this is what a player who's been doing this a bit might want, is a new challenge. And then the other part of that is, unlike a Contra game just turned to hard, you're actually seeing different stuff for your reward as going through the game. And like getting that far, you know? So you get to see like, oh, what is the new thing? What's this new boss? Now there were no like extra stuff like new enemies and different types of R-Wings or anything like that, but you know, this was early, so they did what they could.
You're mentioning Contra now, and I'm just like, dang, that game, man, holy smokes. Wow, all of those votes were still going your way.
This part, this music.
Alright, I'm listening.
Just as it kicks up coming out of the stage, it's like, and this thing erupts from the smoke, and you're just like, what in the world? This was the first time I did this was early last year, and the first time I had ever heard this music, I was just so excited because I had no idea.
Alright, so you got one thing left, but it's about to be just a half-life, so something big is gonna go down after you take down that last panel. Jeez, but you got like so many missiles on you. Okay. Oh gosh, really? Is that like an auto kill?
So it sucks not having Type B.
Yeah, what?
Doing like no damage.
Yeah, what are these weird little things?
Yeah, there's little Metroid bros there.
Yeah.
Sends out to attack you.
Looks like you got it under control. That you definitely do. I don't know.
My goodness.
I don't think you're gonna lose this one.
Future, did you get fired? I hope you didn't get fired. Ah, true it was. Different references. Plus, I think a little bit newer references than what was only in the book. That would have limited them to what they could appeal to the newer gaming audience with, definitely. Hope that goes well, son. I know it's late where you at. Don't be working on cars in the dark. It never goes well. Gonna put your 2 weeks in so you can finish off school and relax a little bit before you go off to the military? That's a good word, Future. How you doing, by the way?
I don't know. Wow. No, I'm just realizing you only got 71 on that. Jeez,
Woo.
dude, you suck. What the heck?
Happy birthday, Future. Alright, here we go. Now, I wanted to tell you, Andross is not the actual boss of this game. If we get to the end of this level, you'll see who the actual boss is.
Okay. Alright.
You've made it this far, and it's your fate to destroy Andross. We're counting on you, Fox. Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Oh, man.
Here we go.
Alright. So this is
And I only have single blaster. So stupid.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ah, okay, I see what you mean now. If you don't blow them up fast enough, they split into a bunch of missiles.
Yeah, which is why it's really easy on these assault missions to get like overpowered. notice how everything keeps coming to you in a line? If you lose that line, suddenly you have to deal with everything at once. See what I'm saying? So you try to keep everything back as much as you can, which is hard when you only have single blaster.
Maybe you shouldn't have died in that last stage.
Maybe I shouldn't. Alright, everyone. Now's the time I need your hands up. Last assault on Venom, Route 3. Second time in my life doing this.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, I hear you. And like, you get old enemies and new enemies coming back. It's really cool. As far as like a wrap-up goes.
In this one?
I don't think so. Hope not.
Man. Now I'm seriously like, what I'm seeing here, I'm not looking forward to doing this, man. This is a game I'm not gonna play for a while.
The longer you put it off, the worse your skill level's gonna get. From getting good at it.
When I need to play it again, I might just, you know, jump into Route 1 and be like, okay, I got the practice I needed. Alright, that was definitely some kind of a trap. I don't know what it was, but... Ooh!
Don't be fooled. Do not be fooled.
Look at all, they're so nice. Look at all this fun stuff they're giving you. Translation, it's gonna get bad. I think your guy is getting a little effed up. You may wanna...
You have to sacrifice for the cause.
Oh, man,
You know what he signed up for. There goes my shield.
Yeah, that shit's good.
Now remember this song, this becomes like the credit song if you remember, like with a little bit of remix. That and thanks for the host, Koji. How are you doing, my man? 1 second, sorry I can't properly address you. A little heavy right now.
He can. Look, he's barely busy, man.
Hey Jay, can I get a shout out for Goji, please? Ah, freaking A. Ah, this ain't going well.
There he goes.
Are you kidding me?
Goodness, really, still.
I should have saved that bomb. Here we go. True boss. He doesn't even let the music finish before he pops some shots at you.
He doesn't.
Maestro, I'd like to introduce you to my friend.
What the actual F is this thing?
Mine land, cheap shot throwing, multi-formic transforming.
Okay, this is
Maestro,
garbage here.
welcome. I'd like you to meet the great commander.
Oh goodness. What am I looking at? Okay. So where? Uh-oh, he's coming from behind. Oh my goodness, you've got to be
Dueling battle. And he can shoot you from behind too. So you gotta be careful. Now notice how he had a remix theme, like with a little bit of intro on top of Fantron's theme?
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
His life bar is relatively low, but we all know that's not really what it's all about.
I didn't save a single bomb either. You can only shoot those hatches when they're open.
What, the red ones or the blue ones?
I'm glad you enjoy them, Goji. Goji, what were you playing today? If AJ can't shout out Goji, everyone just know that Goji's a great person. He's been playing Persona 5, and he loves anime as much as I do.
And he loves your dog, too.
And he loves my dog, and I think he thinks I'm cute, but I've never seen pictures of him, but he's Asian, so he has to be cute. Maybe if Goji wasn't seeing somebody behind my back, you might see a Goji Q team up one day. Goji, have you ever faced the Great Commander in Great Battle before? With his dueling freaking space battle above Venom? Think about how cool this is. This little ship going head to head with this huge ship in the skies, and people in Venom are just looking up. And like, oh my gosh, they've come to kill us, but the Great Commander is here to defend us.
Yeah, you're missing like most of the shots.
Yeah, because it's risky.
Yeah, I know. It's just...
That's all I was saying. It's like it's nice to come in here with a full load of bombs. But even if you do have a full load of bombs, you always save them until the last ones. Because the last ones are always the hardest.
Yeah. Alright. I'm looking out for you, man. It doesn't look like he himself is trying to shoot that much at you, as much as it's just like, hey, I'm shooting a couple of times and then trying to ram you with my obviously larger ship.
Ah, they're so hard to hit. They're so small.
I'm noticing, because I was looking during that whole time. I wasn't even looking at you shooting. I was looking at its life bar to see if anything was going down, but...
I saw my dad do this once. I don't think he beat him, but I saw this fight go on for like hours.
Oh, gosh. Okay, this is ridiculous.
Hey, Hawk, what's
now.
going on? You're in at the perfect time. That's why type B in bombs, man. You need them. Don't do what I did.
This is... Wow. What is this crap, man? Yo, that life bar has not moved. I don't think you're just... I'm not sure if it's that you're not doing damage as much as it's just you're missing it for some reason.
Yeah, I'm not hitting them.
They're not counting
like,
any
you
of those
think they're
shots.
hitting. That's the thing I told you. Like, when you're playing on widescreen like this, like, you're kind of at a disadvantage because things aren't exactly where they are. Hitbox-wise. Which works for you and against you sometimes. See how you can shoot you from behind? That's why
Yeah,
you're, like,
I
always
noticed.
rolling.
It is kind of problematic. What are you supposed to do against this crap?
Ugh, shit.
Oh, gosh.
Alright, hit something. See what I'm saying?
Oh,
you take the
gosh,
risk
alright,
to
see,
take the
there you
hits. And now he starts throwing more lasers, though, now that he's taken more health. Honk, how are you doing? We're in the middle of Route 3 of Star Fox, the hardest part of Star Fox from 1992. How old were you in 1992, Hawk? Old enough to enjoy you some Star Fox, I bet. See, now it's even more risky.
92. How old was I?
No future, no.
I was old enough to play Mario.
Looking behind your back to see if your parents woke up.
Gosh! Oh my gosh!
I'm like running out of finger stamina in order to keep the rolls up. Something sad, really.
Oh goodness.
My kingdom for a bomb right now.
I mean, he's only at the halfway point anyway, bro. Like, this is... Alright. Lead them in the other direction. Oh, gosh!
And you go crashing right over the top of his ship.
Yeah, right?
Sometimes if you do it right, you can actually see his ship, like, in the back. Kind of like looking at you as you go away.
Like, haha, you're dead.
But remember this is like Venom's last defense. Like, this is their greatest defender, is their great commander. The one that's been in charge of the entire military the entire time. While Andros is just sitting at home chilling.
Yeah, I'd like to believe that he was just sitting down chilling, but he's sitting down throwing, like, every annoying pillar under the sun at you, so...
Holy checkpoint. Could we have picked a better place, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, gosh. Thank you for the help, maybe? Oh, gosh.
I can't handle Space Tank right now.
Man, all those health pickups that just kind of
Keep flying by.
you, man. Oh,
Just like the rest of my opportunities in life.
It's like they're trying to help you, but not really, because in every instance one of these things coming your way, it's just like, oh gosh.
Ah, with no double either? I hate this. Yeah, great.
Oh,
Make it to the boss with no health.
Yeah.
Probably need that continue, really. I forgot. I always forget. He takes that cheap shot. It's like incoming enemy, and it's like... like instantly. You're just like, ah!
He's like, I'm not wasting any time on this crap.
Welcome back, Goji. You're just in time. If anyone wants to know my guest commentator, I hope you're all doing well. Thank you again for the host, Goji. Tell me more about that game, Alliance Alive on 3DS. Can you see my dog? He is sleeping right now, and I don't want to wake him up unnecessarily, future, because it's part of his potty training that he learned to hold it while he's sleeping so he can sleep through the night. And so I wake up to go to the gym and take him out. So I can't just wake him up unnecessarily. That would be irresponsible. But you can see plenty of pictures on Instagram, the link to which is below in the panels. Woo! My goodness.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
at the very
you ready to
least-
try some Route 3 there?
Gosh, I'm not looking forward to this at all, bro. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Whenever I do decide to do this, I don't know, man. I don't know. This is something that I'm not gonna stream on Twitch. If anything, I'll stream it directly to you so that. You
Oh
can
no,
comfort
if
me.
it's not
So
online,
that's-
I'm not about it. Everyone
Yeah, no,
has to see it.
So you can comfort me as I cry manly tears.
I'll be in the chat telling you what to do, telling you all the wrong ways to do it, since, as you can see, I barely can do it.
You're gonna be like, hey man, look, this is how you're supposed to do it. Let's go. But there's a silver lining to this. You do get an opportunity to get your double blasters back.
This is true, and try to get through with more bombs, since I was lacking bombs coming from the last planet.
Yeah, that's true too. So, I mean, gosh, though, man, dude, I'm telling you, I'm just not looking forward to this like at all. Holy moly.
I feel like if I was gonna save state, this would be a time to save state. I almost want to
right,
create one just for like practice reasons.
Practice,
In
yeah,
fact,
practice
hold up,
purposes.
yeah, that's a good idea. How does get to the menu here?
What do you want? Z, SNES?
SNES 9X.
Okay, yeah, I use what is it? Z, SNES?
Slot 0. That's a good point. Let's make a save state there for practice purposes off stream. Really good so far. I'm glad to hear it, Goji. Alright, there we go.
Man, real talk though, that's some.
It's really cool, his intro though, right? And like how he puts himself together and stuff.
It's very cool.
And now you see these little ships and you realize that, oh, they were his little... They were like his final ships coming after you. His ace pilots and all that, which is why you didn't see much of them in the beginning, but you did see a couple on Corneria.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Although
So-
that being said, you'd imagine that these guys would all be like really freaking good because they are like his elites, I guess.
Yeah. They're all the last guys that are left though too, so it's like the mixed in portions of everyone that was left on Venom, since everyone else went out to fight the war. The old school way of telling a story without having a bunch of text on screen. You just kind of let the game tell the story.
Yeah, you see stuff and you're like, ah, crap, it's like they're throwing everything. Yeah, they would do stuff, oh gosh. They would do stuff like that, if I'm not mistaken, like when you would play the old Mega Man games, like when you make it to Dr. Wily's Fortress, you'd see enemies that you only saw in like a couple levels, and then you'd be like, oh wow, they're really throwing legit everything at us. But, yeah, more bombs. Yeah,
Oh, no.
Shields.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, dude, you almost gave me a heart attack. I was like,
Yeah,
"What's
me
he
too.
doing?"
I was thinking it was a trap and I forgot what was coming.
Oh man, I don't know if
Yeah, Peppy might be
Pepe's gonna
gone.
make it, man.
I think Peppy's out. Yep, there he is. That's it.
Oh, God.
Later, Peppy. You get to see a ship blow up and everything.
Wow,
Sorry,
so Pepe
Peppy.
died.
Yep, Peppy's gone. And you get that little, like, really disconcerting tone that he dies, like, which is also a sound that is implanted in my memory.
I thought you said you never let anybody die.
I don't know. Maybe I did. I was a kid. Who knows? I don't remember letting anybody die.
Slippy, I'm not helping you anymore.
Nah, Slippy was my dude back in the day because there was no N64 Slippy. It's like we didn't have this like preconceived notion of his personality yet. And
We
plus,
did,
I
though.
told
Come
you,
on.
my dad told me that I was Slippy, so Slippy had to be the coolest one.
So, but real talk though, so you can't say there's no preconceived notion of Slippy because even the way that his text is written, he's like stuttering and he's not unsure of himself. And he's
Peppy
saying
is
stuff
the
that
rabbit future. Goji, how do you display that from the 3DS, by the way?
Ooh, written by the guy who wrote Suikoden. I am a fan of Suikoden. So,
Ah, are you kidding me?
It hit you, man.
I didn't even shoot it. I shot it. It didn't even hit.
This is an outrageously elaborate intro for this guy.
The thing was, he was meant to resemble Rob, like the NES Rob, or the Super Nintendo Rob.
Oh boy, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even get that.
You'll see it later.
Oh,
It's
boy.
kind of apparent now because it's the early versions from like the Game & Watch days, but like later on, it's like, oh, okay, I get it.
Alright. Oh wow, look at that. You're already doing you're pretty much equated to the damage that you had on him before you died.
Yeah, but you know what that means, though, right?
It's gonna just turn into a crap show now.
We do have 4 bombs. It's just I don't want to use all 4 on him.
You do. I mean, you can use one and see how much damage it does.
Nah, because we're gonna need 1 to save. I need a second one to play with, so I'm trying to max out at 2. Alright, hit something there. Just a little bit.
Just a smidgen.
Legend of Legacy? Hey Lena, how you doing, brother? You're just in time for the duel. Imagine how cool this is at the time, in 1992.
Oh, shooting at this ship that keeps coming back and forth at?
Yeah, and you're getting this full 3D play before all range mode was a thing in the N64. This is the first time they tried this. And this wasn't on, like, you know, Grandpa's computer with the number pad and the trackball.
Alright, you're doing damage. Well, not for nothing, there was an old NES game that was very similar to this, and it was just called Stealth. And, yeah, it was to the degree that... Oh, he launched the bomb. It didn't really do that much.
Nah, I hit him. Look at his health bar.
I see it.
I gotta figure out which port is still open. It's the ones on the left. No, those are... Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
I see it. It's definitely the left.
That sound, is that the sound of it, like, exploding?
Yeah, you see him blowing up and how it sinks the shot with it.
Ooh, there he goes. Take the back seat, guy. Now it's centered back.
Hey, GA. Welcome back to Route 3. You see he crashes on the planet, and you're like, nah, I'm gonna see him again.
He's not dead, because you didn't see the whole, like, giant...
No, he crashed. He's done. Don't say that.
I don't know, man.
Look at this.
I'm looking at the instant replay from your stream, and he's not dead.
We're down a guy.
He just kind of falls down a little.
Look at that. Peppy is down. So sad.
That's a little sad. And they
Press
gave you
F for
credit
Peppy.
because you let Peppy die. Every time I hear this song, I'm reminded of Smash Bros.
Just like it's on. They picked a good song.
It is such a good song, though.
This bullshit.
Oh, man, I'm already not a fan. Oh my gosh, I'm already not a fan. Oh.
Hit one, hit them all.
One of those is gonna fall on you, right? Yeah, I knew it.
All of them are gonna fall. Some of them are gonna turn. It's all sorts of madness in here. That's not gonna last long.
I was about to say, you got the shield, and it's probably just gonna go away.
Welcome to actual Venom.
Jeez, that first part was brutal. So what was General Pepper saying about, hey, you know, you decided to choose Route 3 and surprise them from, you know, whatever. It's like they're definitely not surprised.
Yeah, Great Commander was waiting back here.
Yeah,
Which is funny to think that the other times when you beat, aka, you know, quote unquote, beat Andross, Great Commander, you never even run into him.
No.
So he's like, he was still out there, just doing whatever. And they weren't even worried about you because you were, like, hit by the decoy. So, like, once you get to Route 3, everything you've done in the game so far, like, kind of starts making sense in that regard, and you're like, oh.
Oh, no, not more of these transparent platform type things. Oh, gosh. Oh, goodness. What is the deal with that one?
It keeps switching until you, like, stop it.
Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh, that one's coming at you.
Thanks for the host. Don't know who that was. Oh, Retro Game Center. How you doing, my man? Haven't seen you in a while. Thanks for the host. Welcome to Star Fox Route 3. It's madness.
Well, at least on the plus side, you're doing pretty well with health, and you got bombs, and you got your Type B back, so...
But I don't have my Peppy back.
No, you don't. That's on you.
Yeah. I was a little undergunned at the time I was trying to save him.
Hell yeah, you definitely were undergunned.
I didn't have enough blasters for me and him, like I normally do. Ah, jeez, you kidding?
Even with Type B here, I don't think that makes it GG. I just think that makes it, hey, you now have a fighting chance.
Yeah, pretty much. If you don't have it at this point, like, you're looking at some really stupid boss fights. Oh, and here goes Falco!
Gonna go down
Falco,
too.
no!
No, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
I got it! Oh no! Press F to pay respect to Falco.
Is he really just down?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
You
he
saw
is.
it?
You let Slippy live above all of these other great pilots, and you let Slippy live. How dare you?
Slippy's our only friend. Oh shit. Almost forgot.
There he is. He said, you thought you were done with me.
Thanks for the bits, dude. I hope you're well. I hope the kids and wife are well.
Oh my gosh. Transformers.
Here we go. Ultimate bullshit mode.
Right. This is some... Oh no. Still got Fantron's theme.
Yep, and he stole it and he added a little intro to it.
Yeah, he did. He definitely did.
Which is cool when you listen to him back to back. It's not so bad because I'm trying to beat him before he gets super stupid. Yep, now it's getting stupid.
I think you got it. There you go. Oh my gosh, what
Nope.
is this?
That last little try to kill you move.
Wait, his life bar refilled.
Yep.
Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. All this is just trying to shoot at them. Yeah, legit, if you get hit once with that, you should just pretty much be dead. Wow. Holy moly.
Great commander. Hey, M. Gowdy. Howdy. And hey, CD Melon. Thanks for the host, darling. Sorry I didn't see it right off the bat. Thanks for the raid. Oh, that's why I didn't see it, because it was a raid/host thing. But how are you doing? And what were you playing tonight? And congratulations on getting a Jack 3. I could never afford Jack 3 as a kid, so I never got to play that one. But I did play the hell out of some Star Fox. And hey, the commander, I just blew you up.
I know.
I want to meet everybody that I'm seeing right now, but we're in a very tense part, which is the hardest difficulty of what this game is.
I missed what he had to
So
say.
give me a moment. In fact, you know what? Let's take a moment. I'm going to take the sweater off because I'm like sweating myself apart. In the meantime, while I'm taking the sweater off in the background, not sensually at all, Maestro is going to talk to you and tell you what's been going on in this game, his experience with it, and how it's going for me. And hello for everyone that came over from M. Gowdy, or how I like to call it M. Goody, because she got all the major goodies. I'm actually just interested in Martine myself, but anyways. How you doing? And thanks for the host. Be right back. I'm not going anywhere. I'm just going in a safe place where I can take off the sweater, because I'm burning up. Go, Maestro, go!
Place. It's a safe place, and he's burning up because this game is ridiculous. Okay, hey, how's it going, everyone? ThatMaestroGuy here, aka the PR, SX0806, aka Galaxy, aka Truth, aka I have too many online aliases. Someone please stop me. In any case scenario, this is Star Fox for SNES, released in 1992. Shooter Q has a very elaborate history with this, and he decided to inform me and introduce me somewhat to the game. I started playing the game over the past couple of weeks, maybe a week or two. Jeez, when was the last time I played this? I kind of started raging with the game. In any case scenario, I was playing the game. He was trying to inform me on things I should be doing. I was kind of failing at it. Oh, really? Can you really not hear me? Okay. Hey. This should probably be better. I imagine so. In any case scenario, yeah. So I started playing the game. He was trying to direct me in terms of like where I should be going and what I should be doing. I was still kind of getting the crap beat out of me in any case scenario. It was not fun. Took me a while to actually beat the first route of this game. And there are 3 of them. So I had beat the first route, and I was like, all right, great. And Shooter Q was telling me, hey, man, look, Route 3 is, like, really bad. Just saying. And I was like, yeah, I'm probably not going to do it. So then he was like, yeah, you should probably go for Route 2. And I was like, okay, let's do it. So I played Route 2, and Route 2 was bad enough where Corneria, the very first stage,
All right, I'm back.
actually almost got me game
Shut
over.
your mouth
hey,
now.
Welcome back.
Hey, Tris. And hi, the commander. And hey, Gowdy.
You get to talk to me.
And what are you watching me do? Watching me watch Martine? I'm just saying, don't do no more dual camera streams. I'll take your girl. I'm kidding. I would never do that, Gowdy. I respect people too much. Alright. Sweater's off. Sleeves are rolled. The world has changed so much. The street evolved into chaos. And hey, QJ, I know you from hanging out and Goddess because she calls you Q, and I get confused because I'm like, damn, I know me and Goats on that good of a basis yet, but apparently we weren't. She was always just talking to you. The only thing I'm thirsty for, Driz, is more of your loving. Don't tell your wife I said any of that. Actually, the only thing I'm thirsty for is this water, which this bottle's empty. The bottle's kind of small, by the way. We need a bigger bottle. Whew. Utter chaos! Throws pillows around. Isn't that what your kids do, Lena? Alright, Maestro, let's review. We're about to knock on Andross's door. We got 2 bombs. Check.
You got 2 bombs.
How much health
2
we got?
lives, and a dream. Actually, wait, no, you have 2 bombs, 2 lives, and 2 credits, so you're still pretty good. It's just that if you die now, it's gonna be a nightmare.
What we got on weapons, though? How are weapons doing?
You got that Type B, and well, I mean that's pretty much it.
Okay. Okay, how my shield's looking?
Your shield's actually surprising. I mean, I would have thought you would have been worse off, but no, you're still pretty good. I imagine if that swinging top guy would have hit you once, you'd probably be in a very bad spot.
Oh, a very, very bad spot. And for those of you who are also as thirsty as I am, Driz, Gouds, Martine, other Q, and the rest of you, make sure to enjoy yourself some nice, refreshing water, the only sponsor of this channel. Now, shall we get... I don't know what Maestro told you about Route 3, but hopefully he told you all the important stuff. And I've only beaten this once in my life, and it was sometime last year, even though the first time I beat the game all easy mode, aka Route 1, was when I was like 4 years old. It took me like 20-something years to catch up to it, to beat the hard mode. I just want you to understand how special the history of the game is to me. So now we're at like this little final portion, and I'm very, very... I have no idea how this is gonna go. But the stream is almost out of time, so we do it or we don't do it, and we'll throw everything we have at it. It's a Jack Daniels bottle with life-giving elixir in it future. Alright. Everyone get ready. Let's go. Oh wait, I'm not on this thing. Alright, now let's go.
Your father was a reckless fighter too.
So you notice how he says more now that you're in Route 3?
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
He does. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. What is this garbage, dude? Oh.
I would have taken health over the blaster.
Yeah, just in case you didn't have your Type B yet, though. But this will be the McCloud's last battle. And he gets trippy again. Let's see it. Waching! Holy moly, that freaking right eye took so much damage.
I like how you're saying right, because it's his right eye and not on our right.
Yeah, no, it's definitely his right.
It's definitely a mark of your culture right there. Your education. Finishing. What finishing school did you go to, Maestro? If you guys want to know more about my guest, MaestroGuy, hit ! Guest, and go check out his channel, please, when he plays this in Route 3.
It's not happening anytime soon, I can assure you. Alright.
And Goose, don't be fooled by the jokes. I like you too. Martine's just the cute little artist in the background. That who's impatient. That line is stuck with me, Goose. Her impatient line. It's really funny. Notice that you barely get time in between intervals this time?
No, I'm noticing that too. And furthermore, it seems like even with Type B, you're not doing as much damage as you were the first 2 times around?
Nope.
Alright, one eye's down, one eye's down. Okay, both eyes down. There we freaking go.
When do you get a guest spot? When you pick a game that you want to co-star with me that we both have a history of, Nick. Maybe a Saints Row game or Grand Theft Auto 5 or something.
Alright, you really freaking effed this thing up. No
nope,
freaking
look at the colors. It went from blue to like a little orangish. Now watch this.
Alright. What the F am I looking at?
True form, Andross.
He is, I wanted to say a devil, but he looks more like a jaguar of some sort.
Notice anything else different?
Actually, no. Yeah, he's shooting eyeball beams at you at the same time. Hey, look, all of that rolling that I normally do would suddenly pay off, you know? Oh, gosh. Well, no, it makes sense that he turns into something that resembles a cat, since cats are like the true evil of the universe. You know?
Oh yeah, I'm glad we agree on that point.
Yeah, it's very true.
Woo! Say it ain't so, baby. Say it ain't so.
Ooh. Oh my gosh, I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Get out of here clean. All right, now we just have to make it out of the escape sequence.
There's an escape sequence.
I'm gonna do it with no hands.
I thought I was under the impression that like you still had to navigate stuff.
Dun, 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 dun. And now my favorite lines. All ships check in.
Right?
Yes.
I'll bring up the rear, Fox.
Oh no, there's only 2 of us. Oh no. Because Pepin and Falco died.
Good job, guy.
Oh. My heart. My heart. There's only 2 of us. I've never done it this before.
There were some sacrifices that had to be made.
Gowdy, the N64 remake was the remake of the N64 and 3DS was a remake of this game. So in spiritual succession, you actually did enjoy this game. I challenge you to love and enjoy Star Fox, the original as well.
Oh boy, it's looking really lonely on that screen
Right?
there, Q. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my gosh! Look at those low scores too.
Yeah, 75, 71. Yeah, you still averaged, I would say, like an 80 something.
Hey Maestro,
Yeah.
thanks for being here. This is the 2nd time I've ever beaten Route 3 in my entire life.
I'm glad you decided to share this special experience with me. Oh look, see, you made 88.
Wait, I can't
I'm
do
glad
it.
I was a part of this.
Watching too much Yuri on Ice. It's GG style.
What? No.
Corneria.
Wait.
Congratulations on a job well done.
Roger. I'm heading back to Corneria.
And 2 ships made it back. 4 went out, only 2 came home.
But you know what? We get the best Tinder profile swipes of all time. Speaking of Tinder profile swipes, how you doing, Matt? Good to see you, my man. How's your recovery going?
What does that have anything to do with Tinder? This the Destructor.
Hey, Jay. Like all of Q's streams, at least half of the participants survive. This dude, I liked his design. Like, he's one of the only bosses that contrast the orange and the blue. Like that.
Yeah, it actually looks nice.
Yeah. Plus
Blade
just
barrier.
the concept of him, that he had the shield, the grappling hook. It was a little bit more complex than like the Rock Crusher would have been. This guy,
This thing,
I
I'm
hate
not a
it,
fan.
but when I look at the design-wise for what it was back in the SNES days, I'm like, wow, that was pretty impressive. The fact that he would take off, fly, try to break into you.
Dora.
The fact that they remade this guy for Star Fox Zero, like in the little trailer, I was like, whoa, really?
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Actually, Nick, that'd be a good choice for a guest star. Now, this dude we'd fought before, but he was a little bit different this time. And it was the core of a, what was this the core of? Yeah, Atomic Base 2.
Atomic Base 2.
So they actually called it 2.
That was the core of, I want to say, that was Route 1, and I think
3,
that was,
Sector Z would have been outside. So it was a ship or something. We flew into a ship and destroyed it.
Yeah, some moving in.
And then this is Macbeth. This is, on your stream, one of the songs I'm always playing is the intro to his music. When he
Yeah,
just
I
burst
noticed.
out of the ground, yeah.
Spinning core.
Nick, KOTOR is still on the list. We'll get to it one day. And I'm glad you're just good and living, Matt. Thanks for coming by and seeing the end of Route 3. I like this because they show the intro assembly just a little bit.
The Great Commander. Laser.
And then just like Fantron, you get his transformation.
The second one.
Him turning around at you. It's almost like they knew what parts of the game were going to be memorable and they highlighted them. Like the credit to a good movie or a good like 80s anime where they kind of do the segmented sliced of like the episode so you can really enjoy it. I love that.
They definitely did.
You ever notice how there's 2 different polygon colors on his top and bottom lip?
Not until you mentioned it just now, or if I did notice it.
So
it
notice we
wasn't
got
anything that
Andros with the dots again, but it didn't show true Andros, the one with the horns.
Why not?
I think because we died on the way. Or because we didn't let everybody live on the way.
I was about to say, is it because you had some people who didn't actually make it?
And we all know who to blame all this stress on.
Yeah.
Here he is, the man himself.
There it is.
Miyamoto!
Despite not liking this
Dog didn't
game
even wake
in the
up.
First place, you said?
Nah, I don't know what Miyamoto thought of this game. No, okay, so the Euro guys, I forget their name. You're about to see all their names come up. Cough, cough, you know, assistant team. The Euro guys that developed the concept for this game, they were the ones that came up with the idea. They were like, look, the Super Nintendo is great. For us to run it, though, we're going to need the Super FX chip thing, and it's going to have to ship with every cartridge, because you can't just install it to the Super Nintendo, right? So that was a lot of money and investment, so Nintendo was looking at it like, I don't know. But they showed them off the tech demo, and they were like, okay, this is really impressive, but it's not going to be memorable. Like, yeah, these guys, these are European dudes. 3D system, you see?
It's Carl Graham.
Yeah. Like, the one dude, Carl Graham, he's still making stuff today. So, like, they came to them with the idea, and Nintendo was like, yeah, we don't think it's gonna sell, like, these little airplanes and stuff. Right? Iggy didn't even move, AJ. I checked him. Later, TK. Thanks for being there for my Route 3 victory, once again. So, they were the ones that came up with the idea, like, yo, let's do all the animals, the characters, and everything like that. So they did the design as far as, you know, making the bosses interesting, making all the gameplay and everything like that. But when it comes down to the original concept of, hey, let's take these polygons, make a 3D world, and fly them around in space and actually have, like, these routes and on-rail shooter stuff, that was Argonaut, which is the guys you're seeing right now. And we're also lagging on our stuff or whatever. And so you notice Super FX chip, Super FX staff, these are the guys that put this stuff together. And it took like a team of dudes like between them. I am not trying to hit on your girlfriend. She has the same background as me is something I noticed. How dare you, Goots. I'm just trying to hit on you, Goots. Stop. I'm trying to camouflage it, damn it. I'm kidding. I'm glad to see you jumping into Division. I hope to see you on some more Tom Clancy stuff, though, Goes. I will join you as much as I can with those. I'm glad you caught the end of it, too. As soon as our credits are over, I will find a dear friend for us to stream. Once again, if you want to check out the guy who's been commentating with me, is ThatMaestroGuy. You can find him at !guest, and you can go see his Twitch channel. He not only plays games, but he does music composition. He's helped me with a few of the music tracks that are on my YouTube stuff. And he does a lot of cosplay stuff as well. So if you go to his page and you hit up his Instagram, you'll see him doing some League of Legends cosplay and taking pictures with everybody that was at PAX East. Some really, really nice cosplays out there. And he's just overall a really nice dude. Except he doesn't think I'm a real gamer for some reason. Hopefully, I proved him wrong maybe a little bit with this Route 3 victory. We'll see how his Route 3 goes so that we can compare.
Your history proved that you're more confident than I originally, you know.
Yeah, Maestro, what % of your stream survives? The world wants to know.
Oh, geez. Well, I'll put it to you this way. When I played Friday the 13th, last Friday, the 13th, everybody died. So, I mean, there's that.
Alright. Well, it's been fun, guys. Thank you, Maestro, for being a guest here. Thank you guys for watching and supporting me. And thanks, everybody, for being there for the Star Fox Route 3 special with ThatMaestroGuy. We'll probably save this for our own posterity and put it together. Because me and Maestro are now united as Retro Bros forever.
It is. It's true.
Alright. Take care, guys. You guys let me know if you need anything. Twitter, Discord, you all know how to get in contact with me. Some of you have my number, my emails if you need it. If you haven't received anything in the mail from me and you want to, just email me and be like, yo, Q, I want you to send me something in the mail and I'll make it out there. I've had, what, 200 successful mail drops now? 250 unsuccessful because sometimes sending stuff to Russia and Germany can be a little tricky. They like to open up the envelopes before it gets there. Stuff with guns on it, whatever. Is what it is. Otherwise, I'm going to find somebody to host. Please say hello to them. I always pay good attention to the people I follow. And I will see you guys maybe Saturday morning, either for Siege, or we might try to jump into Vermintide 2. And as always, all of you guys that play Vermintide 2 and Germantide 2 are all welcome to come join me. Otherwise, later, good night, and goodbye forever.